Hey, this is John. Welcome to John's Long Box. Let me know, is this working at all? Uh, I'm trying out something new. Can you hear me now? This stupid- How about now? Oh, now it's killer echo. How's this? How you doing? Can you hear me now? I put the microphone. I put these stupid headphones on. How's that? Yes, no. It's good. I'm gonna take that bearable. Should I just shut down the stream or is this okay? No, I'm just sorting comics over here. What I do is I put the first comic in each box. You know what? I don't even need these because there's nothing to listen to. Just gonna put these over here. How's that? All right. Here's an invite. Anybody wants to pop in, you can do the talking. I do the sorting. Talk comics. How's that? This looks like the best I'm going to be able to do for right now. So this is my comic book room. I got billions of comics in here, and I let things build up until I can't do it anymore. I took down my original art because I want to remove everything and put the original art back over here. And I got this rolling table to help me move comics. Oh, the mic is in the headphones. Okay. Boomer's got a boom. How's that? All right. Well, I don't have to wear the headphones, right? Can you hear me? All right. So I'm gonna put all these comics out here, and then I'm gonna sort them. So I'm up to JLA. There I go. Okay, it started to work after a while. And remember, if you want to pop in, pop on in. So right now I'm up to JLA, and I'm just sorting the boxes. So the next box I got over here is Journey into Mystery. And this box starts with Justice. And then this box is JLA, but Superpower. And then these comics. Oh, let me just this over here. These comics are the comics that I read recently that need to be alphabetized. So I just put them on the top to see. So this box I could tell is all JLA because the first one and the next is JL. So I'm going to put this over here. I like to leave a little bit of space in each box because I don't want them tight. So like, you know, over the months each box will accept a couple of comics without having to redo this because this is a pain in the neck. Then I adjust it. Then I put the comic over here. So this is where JLA goes. And then I take the next box out. And I just keep doing this. And then I'll put Justice League Europe. Can you guys still hear me? I'm like, you know, I know you could see. And then I just continue. So now I'm at this box. All right. I'll tilt down just a little bit so you can see. So this box starts with JLA Year 1. And what I do is each box, each like, so JLA, that's the name of the comic. It goes in front of Justice League, JLA. Justice League is JU. Okay. Again, anybody wants to pop in, I put the invite. I'll put the invite again now that I got more people watching. So if anybody wants to pop in, whatever. So there we go. So this box looks like it's really the next thing is Jonah Hex. Oh, so I don't know if you could see it. What we got? Jonah Hex number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what number is this? 12. So I've been buying the Jonah Hexes and reading them. So I'm up to 12, obviously. Put that over here. Then let me see. Got Saber down here. Saber 56. Oh, Sable. This is a good series. Mike Grell, Sable. So what goes after J? So that's Jon. John Sable. So next would be JU. J. Oh, so this box is there. So this box is going away. Oh no. I got Justice League Spectacular to put away. I mean, Jonah Hex Spectacular. This is a phenomenal comic. This is the death of Jonah Hex. Oh, it's so good. So good. So this is going to go, you know, this is the Palmiotti series, but this is Spectacular. So, it's, you know, it goes behind all that because it's Jonah Hex Spectacular. So that'll go right there. And then the next comic that I got to look for is this Justice League. So Justice League's going to go over there. So this box is finished. So I'm going to pull this box away. There's a little bit of space here. Bump into the Mighty Cthulhu. You guys can't even see? I'll show you what I'm bumping into in a second. Put this box away. See, I gotta take out big old box, usually for just one comic or two. You know, as you can see, I don't do a lot of boxes at night, and this is why I let it build up, because these boxes are heavy. Then we got the Justice Machine, which is Mike Grell, Mike Gustovich rather, right? Mike Gustovich, who did my cover for my comic. So that's available now on Indiegogo. The Mike Gustovich cover. So now I come over here. Hey, Jolly Green, how you doing? How you doing? J-Bot, how you doing? Who else is here? Ernest. How you doing? Anybody want to come in? Anybody want to come in and talk with me? I'll give you the invite one more time. Go. Maybe I can pin it so I don't have to. There we go. That, you just click on that and you'll be able to come in. I don't think I can pin it. Oh, there we go. All right, I started. I don't know what that means. All right, so this box is next. No. Oh, no. This box is next. So this box is Journey into Mystery. So this is JOU. You know, we got like JSA in here. Got some good stuff. This big box. JSA. Okay, JSA Classified. JSA. Juggernaut. Some good comics too. I think this may be the oldest comic I have. Archie number 12. Oh, this is Jughead number 12. Okay. Look at Veronica. Look how cute they drew her. Jungle action. Jungle Girl. Okay. Junkyard Joe. Did anybody read Junkyard Joe? Junkyard Joe. Really good. Just a Pilgrim. So now we got Justice. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. And then this box is done. Really no change. No change. I'm not the most efficient, but I enjoy. Look at the heavy box. Normally, I'd roll the table all the way down there, but yeah, I don't want to keep moving it. So now this box. So the first comic in this box is Justice, and the last comic in this box is Justice League Elite. So I'm gonna have to put some stuff in this. So I'm just gonna pull out a little, just to make some room. Oh, I see a comment. I can't read it from here. Mike's Total Dragon Channel. I like that Alex Ross poster in the back. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna move it because this wall is gonna be all original art, and you can't see over there. Over there, it's just like a mess of storage, but it's all board games, and then my dehumidifier and fire extinguishers and stuff. And then over here is the Mighty Cthulhu. Look at this, Mighty Cthulhu. Believe it or not, that's a board game piece. So where was I? Oh yeah. All right. So want to see something cool? Want to see something really cool? Justice League of America number 1. Okay. I got this is number 3. This and that. So here is Justice League of America 2. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now I'm putting in 11, 12, and 13. This box is kind of tight. So now there's going to be a problem because now we're going to be moving just a little bit over because this box is kind of tight. I don't want to put any more in. I like to have a little bit of wiggle room. Oh, jeez. That box is falling apart. That box, probably, no joke, 30, 40 years old. These old comic boxes really, really were durable. Oh, what do we got there? Oh, Phantom Outsider. Hail chat. How many long boxes is that? Let's see. There's 6 in a stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. What's 31 times 6? That's how many long boxes. 31 times 6. So anybody good with math? At Phantom Outside of Jughead, according to Police Academy 2, he ran with that game, the Archies. Yeah. Jackknife. Hey, Jack, can I come over and just read comics for you? You know, I'd enjoy that, people coming over. I don't know if you know Coolest Dad Alive, Jesse Blaze Snyder. Me and him, I became friends with him through this comic book YouTube thing, and then of course he moves to California. But he's in town because it's his son's birthday. So Jesse, if you're watching this, that was a lot of fun. Took him to my favorite place, this Ecuadorian diner called Lucia's. Area 51 of comics. 186. That's how many long boxes I have. I have 186 long boxes. So again, okay. So now this, I have to make room in this box. I'll pull all this out. Oh, Mike Gustovich, who did the cover on Indiegogo. Whatchamacallit. So it looks like the Mike Gustovich cover for Heroic Tales isn't setting the world on fire, even though I think it's amazing. So that's going to be the rare one. So when I print it up, I'm going to print a lot of the Renzo color cover. I'm going to print a lot of the Pat Broderick cover. Those sold well. I'm going to print not a lot of the Michael T. Gilbert cover, and then the fewest of the Mike Gustovich cover. So that's going to be the super rare one. Just if anybody's out there like, I gotta have it. So the Mike Gustovich one looks like it's going to be the super rare variant. I love them all, and I was hoping that they would have equal distribution. But what can I do? So these are the comics. Okay, so this is Justice Machine. So this stack goes on top of this, and we're at J, and this box has K. Okay, so I'll move this over here. And what I kind of do is I just take out a stack that's a little bit bigger than the one that's going in, pull it off. Jack Chance, who said he wanted to come over, you know, really help. Somebody come over and help me move these boxes around. I see more comments. Always had a problem with the JLA when compared to the Avengers. You never really saw a villain using Iron Man and Thor. I don't get the comment. I always had a problem with the JLA when compared to the Avengers, as you never really saw a villain using Iron Man or Thor. Can't say the same about what, like Superman got used a lot? Wow, Master Swag, how you doing? Comics, come on in, Master Swag. I put it like every once in a while. I'll put the invite in the chat if people want to come in and talk. Yeah, this is just an impromptu. I'm using my phone over there, my iPad over there. I got headphones over there, so it's not echoing. Believe it, this is the way my channel used to be. You know, my setup is right over there. So where I normally am, you know, when I always point behind me when I'm doing my videos, this is behind me. This room. When I bought this house, this whole basement was an open dungeon. It was freaky. Matter of fact, on the wall over here was all clown drawings that were really scary. And my wife wouldn't look at them. It's a Gina the Clown, and it was all scary. And she's like, I ain't going down there, that freaky clown. And I first came down here with all my board games, and I got pallets. And I threw pallets on the ground and put all the board games on pallets. And then I worked out there, finished up that area. Then I took everything from here, put it out there, and built this. And then, you know, it took me a good month. If you go back to my first videos, you could see, if you go to shorts actually, the short section, you can actually see me building these rooms. Those are the first things that I did. Uh, Jackknife, do you buy trades or just? I buy floppies. I don't buy trades. I have a bunch of trades because people give me comics. You know, a lot of people they have affection for the comics. So when they outgrow them, when they have kids, and they just I'm starting to feel it now that you're running out of room. People like, oh man, you like comics, you take them. And I never want to say like I don't want them because I have. So I always take them, and sometimes I'll give them away to people. You know, give them away to family and friends. You know, but if it's like an early Justice League, like those will be that trade will be my reading copy. But I like to buy floppies. You know, I'm a floppy kind of guy. We got some. This is again Mike Gustovich. This is a guy who, he just got better and better and better. Mike Gustovich is so good. We got Justice Society. Some Kazar. This was a good series. Oh, you can't see it. This was a good series. Kazar. Some good stuff. Mark Miller, Kick-Ass 2. So Kick-Ass 2. So after that is Kid Cult, Kid Eternity, and then it's another thing I like. I like if I can to end the series and start the next box. Like I don't want so like this. This is Kill or Be Killed. I could end this series on Kill or Be Killed. So I won't start another box in the middle of the series. So this box will go away with a little bit of room. Because if they're tight, you can't flip through them. You know, so I like there to be a little bit of room. A little bit of room. Put this box here. And then I always take the first comic out so I can see what's in the box. And I can see the chat moving. So what do people have to say? Phantom Outsider. I guess I should do that. In JLA, whenever Superman went to attack the villain, the rest of the team would immediately scatter. As usually, Supes was about to, yeah. If you're on a team with Superman, there's no purpose for you, right? I mean, let's face it. That's the problem with DC Comics is that all the superheroes are too powerful. Green Lantern is more powerful than all the advanced. And I think it's funny to think that Batman could stand a chance with any of these guys. You know, it's just funny. Kill or Be Killed was real solid. Yes, it was. Madness Comic Network. Are you supposed to be lifting long box? I'm not using my neck. My neck, my back is fine. I actually lost 20 pounds of muscle mass, so I got to do something, you know. Oh, as I knock over my iPad. All right, so where am I? Okay, so looks like Legion of Superheroes. Oh no, Kill the Minotaur. Kill the Minotaur. So this box doesn't have enough room to absorb that. So I gotta take out some comics. It's room. Hey Pops, you wanna come in? You know, I put the invite in the chat. Scroll up and you can see the invite. This is Kill or Be Killed. Yeah, I gotta say, I really like these Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips titles. These are awesome. I got every one of them. Criminal is good. Just looking through the box. Sometimes they get distracted by good stuff in the boxes. You know, see if there's anything cool to show in this box. I mean, there's always cool stuff to show in every box. Lady. Lazarus is a pretty good series. Okay, good. This is Lazarus. So this is good. This box is nice and clean. hold this box up a little bit. This is a newer box. It seems that the newer boxes are pretty sturdy again. You see this box? This box is brown. Can you see it? This box is brown. This box is sturdier than any of the other, these old boxes from like the 80s. They last forever. Oh, the box is organized, the highest. Yeah, this. So look, 1 month to live. Oh, you can't see it on the camera, but this is the very first box on the top. 1 month to live. And right down there is X-Men. So it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Airboy starts right here. So this is A, this would be like Airboy, Alpha Flight, Avengers, Arion. So yes, they're all in alphabetical order. It doesn't matter the comic company. They're in alphabetical order by title and also by character. So Spider-Man is, the Todd McFarlane comic just called Spider-Man. That goes first. And then Amazing Spider-Man. Then Spectacular Spider-Man. Then Web of Spider-Man. And then Untold Stories of Spider-Man. Because if I want Spider-Man, I don't want to look at all around. I want all my Spider-Man right here. That's the sphere. So Spider-Man is right here. Things like that. Mike's Dragon Channel. That Brewbreaker Phillips. Yeah, automatic buy for me. Absolutely. I'm sorry I'm not bringing up your question. Hey, Jim O'Reilly, how you doing? Do I have the Jack of Hearts? Of course I got the Jack of Hearts. I passed it though. I'm up to Legion already, so I missed it. I have such wonderful comics as Luba. I'm a Love and Rockets freak. So where was I? Legion of Superheroes. Okay, so this box is the next box to be dealt with. And this box is pretty tight, so I gotta take out. Wait, I'm kind of. Oh no. Yeah, this is going in front. Okay, so Lazarus is going in front. So I gotta take out some of these. I'll put these right here. Take out a little extra. I can always put some back. Clear up some space. Clear up some space. Clear up some space. Clear up some space. And there we go. So this is. So the front of this box is LA for Lazarus, and the back of this box is LE for Legion of Superheroes. Okay. Oh, I done messed up. I done messed up. Okay. This box is LEA. So this goes here. I done messed up. I do that from time to time when, especially now when I'm talking. Every once in a while, like I'll lose a comic. It's because I was distracted when I was doing my alphabetizing, and I put it in the wrong box. This is excellent. Paul Smith, James Robinson, Paul Smith, Leave It to Chance. Oh, there's a collection of all like 12 or 13 issues. It's so good, so good. Jack of Hearts was your first comic. What was your favorite era of the Legion? Without a doubt, right around here. Without a doubt, right around here. So good. Pat Broderick. I mean, this is just awesome stuff. I mean, look at this. The Great Doctor Saga. This is just comics, dude. This is just awesome. How can anybody not like that? What's in this book? Legends. This is awesome. Alternate Comics, Legends of the Log. Legion of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And then Legion. And then Legionnaires. Okay, so then Legion of Monsters goes here. Legion Secrets. This is unofficially I didn't buy it first, but this is where my collection starts when Superboy left. So I just made the arbitrary decision to get them all because it used to say Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, and then before that I think it was Adventure Comics. So this 259 is my official first, and I'm slowly slowly building my way back. Okay. So then these will go here. And now we're at this box. Yeah, so those are great leads because yeah. I'll put the invite in here again if anybody wants to pop in. That way you could read me questions and I can answer them. You know. Lead you. Come over here. The only bad thing is the AC doesn't really get back here, so it gets kind of stuffy in here. And then I got a dehumidifier over there that puts out a little bit of heat. So this box is full. Here. Yes, I got confused. Let's go. Wow, 189 boxes. I used to say 155 boxes. Cool. So I always put 11 rockets. Madam Xanadu. Okay, so this is the box I got to deal with. Anybody else? Oh, I see a couple more comments. Wow, 41 people are watching me do this. Cool, thank you. I think Darkside wasn't overly fond of how great Dr. Cinder did. Yeah. When is he? He's never happy. He has a library there. Yeah. You know, when I joke around, I say these comics belong in a museum. This is my museum. Yeah, this is my crazy comic book room. You know, that's why. You know, sometimes I get. It's my own fault. Sometimes I get a little arrogant. I'm like, you know, what do you know about comics? You know, and then I love when people challenge me, and then I just post a picture of my comic book room. Like, there you go. Let me see your comic book room. It doesn't matter how many comic books you have. Yeah, it kind of does. It's kind of what collecting comic books is all about. You know, if you're collecting cars, it's not how many cars you have. So this box is all Legion. You can only see my arm. See if there's anything cool in here. Liberty Comics, Liberty Meadows, Lobo. For a guy who doesn't like Lobo, I have some Lobo. Lobster Johnson, I've got a lot of Lobster Johnson. Loki, Lone Wolf Cub, Longshot, Local Man. Okay, so I have Local Man up to 6. Lords of the Ultra Realm, Laurie Lovecraft. I bought it because I've got anything Lovecraft related, and I've learned through that maybe you should be a little bit more discerning. So the losers will end this box, and I'll put this box into what I call the general population. If anybody sees me picking up a mistake, let me know. So far, nobody's popping in. Nobody wants to pop in. What an old man sorting comics. Okay, so see now I got this big stack. So normally at this point, I think what I'm going to do, what I have to do now is first I got to move this Cthulhu statue out of the way so I don't keep knocking into it. So this will go over here. Second thing is go to the fridge. Yeah, I have a fridge down here. I got a bathroom down here. This is, I hate the term, but this is the ultimate man cave. So I'll get another soda. Put that there. And I have to turn this. So I'm probably going to reposition the camera and everything. I've got to turn these boxes. Okay. Turn this. Okay. Turn this to face me. Okay. And then I'm going to move this camera over. So let's see. How's that? Sorry if I made people nauseous. How's that? Okay, I think that works. But now what I have to do is gotta fold up another box. So I buy a whole bunch of long boxes and I keep them unfolded at just this moment. Oh, I got another box. I got a couple of short boxes. I got an assortment of long boxes. Anybody say anything? Popping. What did you say? It's popping. It's Miller time. It's Diet Coke time. I'm a lightweight. If I drink, the other night I had one beer on Master Swag show and I went right to bed. A beer. I learned that if I'm having trouble sleeping, just have one beer and that'll send me right to bed. And I am the most pleasant drunk you'll ever meet. I love everybody. Everybody's my best friend. There we go. Hey. Okay, so I gotta, maybe I'll shut this door so it's not. Okay. Which, is this a good view? Should I leave it like this? So now, these are the, okay. So what? This will be the start of the new box. All right, so this will go here. So what do we got? Okay, so this is Love and Rockets. So we got to go this box. Love and Rockets is a weird comic to categorize. One series is magazine sized, which are right there, magazines right there, and then one series is graphic novel sized, and then comic sized. I could see what they were trying to do. And, oh, geez. Why didn't you guys tell me? I forgot to put Kit Kat Fox away. That's K. Damn it. So this is my cheat. These are the stuff that I missed. I put them in the back here for the second time around. So if I start going back and everything like that, I drive myself crazy. So. John, do you rebag and board your comics? It seems like a daunting task. I haven't. I did. I remember I bagged and reboarded all my Quasar comics about 10 years ago because all the bags were yellow. But the new bags and the new boards, like the bags and boards and the tape that I got in the 80s, somewhere around 2005, they were greasy and waxy, and the tape was secreting an oil. So I rebagged all of those, but like this. Okay, what year is this? Okay, 2010. So this is 15 years. Okay, this is 15 years. This is fine. Why rebag it and board it? This is probably, oh geez, it doesn't even have it. Okay, 86. Okay, so I bagged and boarded this in 1986. This is fine. You know, why do that? You know, if I see that there's a problem, yeah, I bag and board, but not unless there's a problem. All right, oh yeah. So Love and Rockets. You can see these Love and Rockets kind of bounce around. I put all Love and Rockets and all like Whoa Nelly shouldn't be here, but it's a Love and Rockets comic. So Love and Rockets, Whoa Nelly. That way, whenever I want to do anything from Love and Rockets, that it's all in one area. Okay. Again, if you scroll up, you can see an invite. I think I started, so you can click on it if anybody wants to come in. I'm lonely. All right, so Love and Rockets, so LM. Okay, so what is the first M? Okay, we got Manga Sampler, MAD. Okay, so Madam Xanadu. So these are going in next. These are all right. They keep trying to make Madam Xanadu a thing. you know, Madman Adventures. I love Michael Allred. Madman Adventures. Just his art is so good. Peter David Madrox. May. This started out so good and then didn't end too well here. I liked it because it was like fairy. Lately, my things are angels and fairies. How gay does that sound? But I like angels and fairies. Magneto, Magneto and the Magnet Man, another Magneto series. Oh, the original Magic. Back then, I used to bag and board all 4 comics in one bag. See, so this, I don't know if you can see this, but this is starting yellow. So this I might change. Not right now though. Okay, we got a guest here. I can't see who it is. Who's popping in?
Hey, it's Jose.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Haven't seen you in a while, and I saw you.
Which Jose? Refresh my memory. Is there too much of an echo?
Comics with
Jose,
Jose.
turn off your YouTube.
One sec.
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, Jose, I think you have your YouTube window open too. You got to shut that. Just use StreamYard.
there we go. Can you? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, there's no echo now.
Okay, there we go.
Cool. Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Which Jose? I can't see. It's too far away.
Sorry. How's that? Comics with Jose. I don't know if you remember from a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's everything?
It's going well, and I just happened to be watching. I was drawing, and I was like, "Hey!" So I caught you finally. I haven't been around at the same time that you've been going live recently.
Yeah,
So
I usually don't stream late at night, but now with the broken neck, I can't work, so I have no schedule. I'm like a college guy, so I just stay up and And today I had game night with friends, so I was like, you know what? I didn't make a video today. I might as well do something. And I got to
oh
sort my comics anyway, so I figured why not?
oh sure, you got a ton of comics, my man.
Yeah. It gets hot in this room. The AC doesn't quite reach it.
Oh sure.
You
I
can see I got the Alex Ross Captain Marvel over here. I got the Alex Ross Fantastic Four.
I
Can you
have.
see this up here? The anti-street sign.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had that made.
Let's see if I have an Alex Ross Avengers poster right there by the. So
I'm just trying to move closer because. Hey Jose, if you could read the comments for me, because I can't really see them.
Oh, sure. Let me see if I can. So I shut the YouTube down. How do I read the comments?
Oh, you don't have the StreamYard stream up? How are
I
you here?
do. I do have StreamYard, but I can just see you. I don't see the comments.
Fiddle around with some of your settings, because sometimes you'll see the comments coming down the side.
All right. Oh, there it is.
It say?
I had it on private chat. There we go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So you're the comment guy, please.
All right.
People asking about manga. This was the first manga I ever read.
Okay.
This is Eclipse Comics. Geez, this has got to be like 85 or so. I got a full run of these. Mai the Psychic Girl.
Let's see. I got Phantom Outsider says took me 4 months while off work to rebag and board them, all a few years ago. So, how dreading how long reorganizing will take. LOL.
Yeah. I enjoy this though. This is fun for me. somebody earlier, forgive me, I forgot who it was. They were like, "Hey, can I come down and read comics with you?" I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that
If
would be
only
fun." You know,
if only you lived
read comics.
closer.
I'll sort. I could talk. You know, comic books are a lonely a hobby. You know, so
Yeah, we should get I know you had a thing with the guy with the beard and you were doing Secret Wars on Sundays,
yes,
I think
Kelsey
you
Shannon.
were. Yeah. You should do that more often with more people, especially now that you
Yeah.
have.
Well, I missed that because Kelsey goes into hibernation. So I would like to do more. So I start up another thing called Comics Great, and that's just I'll pick a top. I'll pick a comic, and if anybody wants to do
Sure.
it with me, that's fine. Like this guy RRNZ, I think from New Zealand. He was just like, "Oh, I love the Elementals. Can I join you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So so I'm gonna do that more often,
Yeah.
or at least while I'm out of work, because you know I'm trying not to spend money. You know.
I don't buy any new comics anymore, so I actually have been trying to just plug in some holes in the collection, kind of like you've been doing. But I don't buy anything new, except no, I shouldn't say that. I lie. I buy Thor, I buy Hulk, and I think that's it. Although I did pick up that Wolverine limited series that Jonathan Hickman is doing with Greg Capullo. I picked that up,
Okay.
and the Aliens Avengers that just came out. I'm picking that up too, just because I
Okay.
love Esad, the guy that did Secret Wars, not the original, but the new one. Esad Ribic, I think his name is. He's drawing that Aliens Avengers that just came out last week or two
Okay.
weeks
I
ago.
haven't picked up any. I quit Marvel DC in 2015. I can't believe that's like getting on 10 years ago. And
Oh
but I
wow,
still like I'm filling in holes of collection. What
yeah,
does it say? Do I have Rama one half? No, I do not. Just waiting on work to give me the word that they're retiring me via disability and oh God, you've been off
oh.
administrative leave. So faith about right. I guess you're right. So when I go back to work, I probably only have like 4 more years left.
Oh, I'm still ways away from retiring, but I got an easy job. I work from home and I work for an insurance company, so I just do claims throughout the day, and that's really very simple menial
You guys want
labor.
to see my man
But
thing? That's like the oldest joke in the.
yeah,
book.
I
Always,
actually
always loved this cover. The last issue. I don't know. Do you guys like looking through your old comics and you know just checking everything out?
have you seen those new long boxes? Really, they're half boxes, the ones that have the characters on them.
Yeah, yeah. I just it's just too expensive to get those.
Yeah,
And then like like because a lot of good guys are doing them. If people want them, why not? But
sure.
what is it like $30 a box? You know,
15,
at the
15
rate I
half.
need boxes, I can't afford that.
Yeah. I I did it for the X-Men, I did it for Hulk, and I did it for Captain America and Spider-Man.
I
Those are the only ones I did
hate to
them
be a
for.
jerk, but like just to just print out a bunch of X-Men and cut it and paste it on your box.
Yeah, I
Oh,
hear you.
oh, these are my wife's comics, but that's what she did. You know,
Um,
I made a box of comics for my wife to read.
I got Mike's Total Dragon here. He's saying classic Burn Superman. Were you a big Gerber fan?
I repeat that.
The first comment was classic Burn Superman. That's from Mike's
Yep.
Total Dragon channel. And then the second comment from him is, were you a big Gerber? I think he means Steve Gerber,
Yeah,
a
yeah, because
fan.
he saw me doing these. Steve Gerber, I keep facing this, but I should be facing that. Steve Gerber, I didn't like until maybe I was in my 40s because he didn't write for kids. When I got Howard the Duck, when it first came out, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. Howard the Duck is in the first issue. He's climbing up a mountain of credit cards and he's going to throw himself off. That's not stuff a little kid wants to read, you know. So I didn't like him until recently. He did a series called Hard Time that was excellent. Look at this. I love these Marvel collectors out of plastics.
When's the last time you looked through some of these? Like, I know you look through them as you're organizing, but when's the last time you read some of them? Or do you read them? Do you try to? Because that's a lot of comic books. I mean, that would take.
It's funny because sometimes I'll get like existential dread. Like I'll read a comic, put it away, and I'll be like, I'm 56 years old. I'm never going to get another chance to reread this comic.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess other people have better. You know, I guess I have a good problems if that's what keeps me.
Right. Right. And then Phantom Outsider saying, I'm not going to be 58 till Sunday. I basically sat at a desk entering in documents, but apparently for reasons they're going to retire me. I can sit and I can obviously still type, but just not there. Ah, well.
Well, I don't know if that's a good thing or not that you're retired. I can't wait till I'm retired. You know, but my job is jump in the mud pit and dig and carry pipes.
Yeah, you got a hard job.
Yeah. Okay, so Marvel this box.
So are you just
Here we
on
go.
workers' comp or how? What are you? Oh, I love that issue.
Disability.
Disability. Okay.
But it's going through my car insurance and they're dragging their feet.
Of course.
It's been 8 weeks since I got any money.
Oh no.
I called them today. I'm like, guys, you know, you think I'm gonna get any money soon? I'd like to go food shopping soon.
Oh my God, that's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and times are tough, my man. Oh my goodness, inflation and oh my goodness.
Marvel Fanfare. This I always love this cover.
Oh, Scarlet Witch. Is that George Perez?
Black Widow. Black Widow by George Perez. But look at this. This is probably the original bag. There's no reason to change this.
Right.
You know. But then again, I've always stored them in boxes, bagged and boarded them. You know. So. You know. It's not like they're getting beat up any place. Oh, here we go. Here's an interesting comic. Marvel double feature. This is the first Defenders.
Oh, sure. Well, if times get too tough, I suppose you can get rid of some that are valuable to at least get you going.
I know. Every once in a while, I ask my wife, "Am I being selfish, holding on to these comics?" But I'm not hurting. You know, the bills are paid.
Right. Well, that's good.
You know, it's just that the insurance company said tomorrow. So what is tomorrow? Friday? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even know what day it is. They said tomorrow I should have 2 months of back pay. So as of tomorrow, if what he says, if he's not blowing smoke, everything should be fine. Always love this cover.
Oh, Warlock.
Yeah. Marvel Premiere.
So Woodrow says, I'm so jealous of that space. So freaking cool, John.
Thank you. Well, don't be jealous. My wife and I were talking about jealousy versus envy. You know, this is going to sound dicky, but I didn't get a room like this until I was 56. Well, 53. I moved into this house 3 years ago. Then I built for a year. So So when I was 54, I got this room. I don't know how old you are, Woodrow, but like, you know, it, it's a cool room. I don't know how many times I just put a chair right there. It just sat and like, I have a comic book room. And then when I took a picture to one of my childhood friends, he was like, "You finally have a comic book room." Did you ever see the movie The Jerk?
It's been a long time.
But do you remember when he
Long.
got rich and he was like, I have a room with a clam bathtub, and I
Oh,
have a
sure.
room with a red and white giraffe. And remember, I always said, well, I have that too. So that I feel
Oh
like
my
The Jerk.
God.
You know,
Sure.
you go the first Iron Fist. These are so good. Marvel Premiere, Legion One. I'm going to show you one of my favorite comics of all time coming up. Believe it or not, this is the comic that got me into Tolkien. Weird World.
Weird World. Okay.
I read Weird World first, and my friend was like, "That's just a ripoff of Tolkien." And I'm like, "What's Tolkien?" And he explained Tolkien to me. So then, you know, I went and watched the Hobbit cartoon and the Ralph Bakshi cartoon. Got into Tolkien. Oh, there we go. One of my favorite comics.
And Phantom Outsider says he's got two things here. One of them says, "I was looking forward to retirement in a few years, but it's odd when retirement is forced upon you." And then he says that brown board might not be acid free. LOL.
Yeah. Damn it. I missed some comic. Damn it. Damn it. I hate when I do that. Well, here's the first appearance of Ghost Rider.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta put Made to Mayhem. This is Clint Helinsky. This is a crowdfunded indie comic. Just in this box, and I missed it. That would have bothered me. Sorry. Any
So
comments? Anybody else want to pop in?
let's see here. Mike's Total Dragon said, comparison is the theft of joy.
Yes,
Then
yes, I absolutely agree. You know,
and then and then
I look at how other people's crowdfunds are doing, and they're doing better than me. But you know what? I'm only competing with myself.
Phantom Outsider said a disco party room. And then Woodrow says Iron Fist is one I always wanted to get into.
Yeah.
And then
These comics are it's the same comic, different covers. This is my buddy Mike. Marshall Strong as a character in Heroic Tales. His comic just came out first. So this comic is set in my comics universe in 2012. My comic is set to, you know. So when he's finished his obligation to this company, we're gonna reprint it under my, provided I do well enough, and
right.
then we're gonna clean up the lettering and stuff, and then re-offer this under my comics.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah,
And
it's funny
then
because I had to like make sure that the continuity worked and everything because I'm big into continuity. That's what I get when I'm talking and not paying attention.
Argoverse Comics said, "Hey all."
Okay, who is that?
Argoverse
Hey, how
Comics.
you doing? I just got your PDF today. Cool.
And Dale A said, "Look at that library. John obviously prefers the floppy over the trade paperback."
Yep, I'm a floppy fellow.
So I am a floppy fella too. However, most of the time I just read things digitally now. I just kind of went digital years ago when I stopped buying all these things, but I still get a few floppies here and there from nowadays.
I challenge myself every month to get less and less.
It's just there's just nothing good out there. At least for the big two and even Image. Because for example, Spawn, I don't care for Todd McFarlane's writing. I only got Spawn because he drew it and then Greg Capullo drew it. But there's nothing that attracts me to Spawn. And the dude can't even pull out one cover a month. You know, if Todd McFarlane, I was buying Spawn when he was doing covers. If he didn't do a cover, I I don't get anything. So a lot of stuff, you know, I'll get like Ed Brubaker. I'll get Ed Brubaker. I saw that you were doing Kill or Be Killed earlier. I love Ed Brubaker. I'll get Ed Brubaker, but that's about it. I hardly get anything from any of the modern comics right now because there's nothing that I care. They don't care about continuity anymore. They don't
Yep.
care about anything, and now everything is a political agenda with them. It's a preachy, you know. Captain Marvel.
This is my first Pat Broderick comic. I got this off the spinner rack, and I've loved him ever since. This is 1979, and oh my God, I can't believe I got Pat Broderick to draw the cover to my comic. So look at this.
Yeah.
This is just gorgeous.
So Woodrow says, "Oh, I agree. I never compare myself. I should have used the word admire. I admire your space."
Yeah, like I said, envy is a actually, like, jealous is the worst. Jealous is like a negative. Envy is just like, me and my wife would talk about that. Like, I'd rather say envy, because envy is just like good for you, but jealous is negative.
And then Phantom Outsider says, "I have a lot of floppies, but thinking about getting some omnibus, so easier access to books without digging in the boxes."
It's the first
So
appearance of Marvel, Captain Marvel,
yeah.
and Carol Danvers is in here, so that's why I don't mind that she inherited the mantle.
So Phantom Verse, and when you said that, if you don't mind going digital, I have an iPad here where I actually have a list of comic books that, let me show you here. I don't know if this will. So I have this, and I don't know if you can see some of the comics that I have in there, but I have Machine Man. Oh, oopsie.
Nothing you could do. Just the screen is just way too far away.
So, for example, here is Weapon X right here. So, and then you can make them big to read. You can make them small. You can.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. So, if it helps rather than carrying those big omnibuses, it's just a really easy way. So I prefer digital to an omnibus or anything.
And did my screen freeze? No. Argiverse asked, did I like his book? I didn't read it yet. And to be honest, I'm probably not until I get the physical comic.
Let's see here. He says, "Hope you enjoy it, John. I can't wait to read yours."
Yeah, I hope. Oh, I didn't mean to put that right on my face. Yeah, I'm nervous. And it's almost done. I think it's I think the lettering is finished tonight. I just saw an email. I got to open it up and check that out. So
And
that's gonna be fun.
Woodrow said the same thing I said in the beginning. If you get a floppy, try Aliens versus Avengers. I actually enjoyed the direction of it more than I thought I would, and I actually got that issue. One of the only comics that I buy. And Argoverse Comics said, I never got why they didn't turn Spawn into a monster of the week type deal. The whole 350 issues to see a Spawn becomes king of hell thing got tiresome.
Yeah, I like Spawn when there was like a countdown on him, and you knew every time he used his powers there was a consequence. Like he was going to get claimed by the officers of hell, and then they kind of got rid of that, you know.
Yeah. You know, McFarlane, like I said, I'm not interested in his writing. If he's not gonna draw, I do not care, and I don't buy it. But I will buy it. You know, he could easily get a sale from me. He could actually get a sale from a lot of people just by doing one freaking cover a month, the lazy bastard. So, yeah.
I got nothing against McFarlane. I think McFarlane is like the gold standard for comic creators as far as like personality and attitude.
Sure. And then
I think everybody else could learn from him.
oh, absolutely. Phantom Outsider says Marvel is the original Breck superhero. That guy had the best hair for a hero. I think he meant Marvel. That was from Phantom Outsider. Yep. And then Phantom Outsider says, yep, the thing is there is a site called Read All Comics, and they have them altered. I'm sorry. Oh, that moved away. Too many people. Let me see if I can.
You can scroll it up and scroll it down.
Let's see. So let's see. The thing is there a site called Read Comics, and they have them all for free. I like having physical media because they can edit and delete clouds. That is true. I actually download them, so yeah, mine don't get deleted. And then remember, they have edited and deleted SOE Simpsons, I don't know, episodes, and they altered the DC Presents with Superman and Spectre, where Superman actually talks with the voice, the Spectre's boss, aka God. And then
this
Mike's
the debate. This is the worst comic I've ever read by Marvel, and it was a bet. What's his name? Billy Amos said, "I'm just gonna make a comic with good art, and the story doesn't matter, and it's still gonna sell." So this is proof to all of the Comicsgate guys that story matters.
Yeah, story does matter. He was going against Peter David, and yes. And he, by the way, he's got a GoFundMe because of his health issues. So if anybody wants to help out, they sure can. By the way, did you hear John Cassidy passed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his art, and oh my God, when you see his face, he's such a baby face, you know?
Yeah, 52.
Yeah, but he looked like a 52 going on 38.
Right. I guess he had some kind of brain. His sister had posted some kind of brain issue, and that's I guess really? What he died of. Yeah, he had some kind of disease, so he wasn't. That's why he wasn't putting any art.
Yeah, he put out art X-Men covers a couple 6 months ago that everybody was making fun of, and now I feel bad.
Yeah. So let me catch up on some of those comments here. Mike's Total Dragon channel says Spawn is an incredible success when you consider Todd had absolutely no idea what he was doing. That is true. And then Eric the Guapo is asking you, do you have any Superman comics you want to get rid of?
I don't want to get rid of any comics. I've never willingly gotten rid of a comic. This is this
Oh.
this comic book room is the black hole of comic books. Justin Belmont wanted to trade some comics. He wanted some Pit, and I forget what he was going to give me. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll trade. And he mailed me comics, and I just bought new Pit comics and sent it to him.
Oh
As a
my
trade.
goodness. Oh wow. Dude, don't you have everything? It looks like you would have everything. What don't you have?
I don't have the first 6 Hulks. I don't have the first 6 Iron Mans, and I don't have the first 20 Spider Mans. Nor do I have Amazing Fantasy 15. But after that, I pretty much have everything Marvel.
Wow. And then Woodrow says, I have to say, I really enjoyed digital. I put out a free 32-page prologue people can read digitally, and I ended up really liking the digital format. That was from Woodrow.
Yeah,
And then
I just old fashioned, guys. How old are you? Who just said you like the digital format?
we'll have to wait to see there. But that was Woodrow. But I'm 50 and I absolutely adore digital. So Eric the Guapo said Spawn is awesome. My second favorite IP.
Yeah, I have, I think, the first 63 issues. That's where I stopped collecting it monthly.
I got the first 100, but then yeah, that's when I stopped, and then I bought a couple issues that he did the covers to. And then the horrible thing is, so those comics are super expensive to buy, and I ripped out the covers because that's all I wanted. And so I actually ripped out the covers. When I was young, I ripped out all the Marvel Age covers that Todd McFarlane had done. All those covers that he did, just the covers, I ripped them all out when I was young. Because I was an unappreciative high schooler at that time. So let's see. Woodrow says, "Yup, download them if you can." And then Mike's Total Dragon channel said, Marvel is trash. I never read it, so either. So, and then Woodrow commented on your black hole comment. He says, "Haha, the black hole of comics, love it."
Yep.
And then
Pretty
Eric
much.
Eric the Guapo said, "One day, John, one day I will get one comic from you." And then some persons, and that's his name, says, "Got Action Comics 1."
Yeah, I wish if I had Action Comics 1, I would sell it and retire.
Would
Yeah,
you really
I would
sell
sell
it?
a comic if it
Okay.
meant I didn't have to work anymore.
Okay.
You know, to sell a comic just to make a car payment, I'll struggle. I'll struggle a month.
Okay. And Woodrow says he's 36.
Okay. It seems like once you get to like the 40s or so, they don't want to deal with digital comics.
Yeah, I love digital for a lot of stuff. The fact I've been drawing here on digital, so
I remember the first time I heard about artists drawing digitally, and it blew my mind. I just, you know, I told you I met John Romita and I went to his house, John Romita Senior's, and he was talking about drawing traditional and drawing digital. And I was like, I didn't know people drew digital. You know, that's how long ago.
right.
And that was only 10 years ago. He was talking
I
about
used
how his son was trying to teach him. And he's like, nah, I'm too old. Can't teach a new dog, old dog new tricks.
Brian Boland draws digital only. He taught himself, and he uses the old fashioned drawing digital. He uses the old Wacom tablet where you have to look at the monitor, because so he is old school digital drawing, but he does He does everything digitally. And
Mice Templar.
oh yeah, Michael Avon Oming, I think.
Yeah.
Eric the Guapo says, I have been collecting Spawn ever since I was a kid. I grew up in the 90s. I like the blurred morality, the brooding, and the cool designs of the villains.
Yeah, I
Eh,
gotta say, Todd, I'll never say anything bad about Todd McFarlane. I don't know if that's cool to say, but I like him. I like his art. Um, I like Spawn. I collected it. I think out of all the Image comics, Spawn was the one that kept me along the longest. But
I
I think I
agree.
stopped at whatever year issue 63 was. I was dead broke. That's the only reason why I stopped. And then
Okay.
it was hard to get back in. I was broke for a couple of years, finishing up college.
Well, you'll be broke now trying to fill that collection because some issues, because of the low print run, will run you $200 for in the hundreds and 200s. So I don't know if you'll ever catch up.
I'll catch up.
Okay.
I get crazy like that. There's a comic everybody should read.
Um, sure.
I'll be doing this on. I was kind of hoping Kelsey when I would do this. For Two Beards, such good comics.
What is he up to? Oh, the artist of that, Michael Golden. Does he do
Right.
anything at all? Is he retired or?
I think he just does commissions now. He commands like $5,000 to draw himself.
Oh, ooh, ooh,
So why do a monthly grind?
sure. And then Eric said Superman is his absolute favorite, though. So Spawn's his second, but Superman's his
Oh,
first.
I love Superman. Superman is the standard that all comics will be judged. My comic is an homage to Superman. I absolutely love Superman to the point like even if you know I'm not flattering myself. I'm not a writer. But like if I was offered Superman, I probably would turn it down. That's how much I respect the character. I'm like, who am I? I'm not worthy.
um, Woodrow says digital has a bunch of problems, but I can't I can't knock it like I used to. I can see the benefits. I do enjoy physical much more. My daughter would agree. My daughter is 20 and you would think she was born in the 1920s. She's an old soul.
Oh yeah.
My daughter went back to DVDs and getting movies on physical movies. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, my daughter's an old soul. And then Mike's Total Dragons and Brian Bolin is a legend.
I just found a little sign that says free comic. So first one down here gets a free comic.
And then some person said, "How big of a Euro comic collection do you have?"
European.
I think that's what he means.
Um, I mean, mostly American comics. I got like right in front of me. You can't see. It's all boxes of magazines, and I guess there's your like heavy metal and the Mobius comics, things like that. But not a lot. I lately I've been buying like hardcover. Like I just bought a big hardcover of Rex. What's his name? Tex Ritter, the Italian Western comic, things like that. But I got Meta Barons. You see the humanoids.
I just
But
got recently re-got again into Mobius. Mobius is amazing. Goodness
yes,
gracious. What a
I got into Mobius when Marvel did the graphic novels with Mobius. I think I discovered Mobius with that Silver Surfer Parable comic.
yeah, I did too. And then creators outlet said, "Hail nerds." And Eric the Guapo says, "My biggest complaint of Spawn, especially the first 100 issues, is too wordy.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane must have gone to the Chris Claremont School of Words. He puts more words than anything. At least Tom Orzechowski, speaking of digital, he letters digital, so he now just flips those words real quick. And then Phantom Outsider says, see, digital has its uses, but owning the physical copy has a greater appeal. Yeah, you can read
Yeah,
Superman 1 on digital, but owning it would be way cooler, although probably wouldn't open it. LOL.
if I had Action Comics #1, like I said, I would sell it, pay off my house, retire. You know, thank you,
Yeah,
Superman.
that's like $6 million now, I think.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Mike's Total Dragon channel says I bought the whole Micronauts run and I didn't see the hype. Enjoyed ROM more.
okay. I enjoyed Rob more because it was mixed in with the superheroes. But man, I got Micronauts month by month with my friends, and it was like we would miss an issue and have to track down an issue. Then he would find issue 5, but you know, but we last issue we read was 3, so we would like, what happened in issue 4, and then find issue 4. It was a lot of fun.
And
I take it
it
back.
made
This is the oldest comic that I have.
Millie Model. Huh.
Yeah, Billy the Model #1. I think it's 1943.
Oh
It's
wow.
it's it's by Marvel Comics before Marvel Comics. And I
Atlas
did
when
a
it was
video on this, and some guy emailed me and said that he's part of a project that they scan comics to archive them, and this is one of the comics that is so rare nobody has a copy of it. Would I be willing to mail it to him to scan it to? I was like, no, I'm not mailing this to you. So he's like, would you scan it? I was like, how do you scan it? So I gotta scan it, send it to this guy.
all right, so I'll finish up the comments and then I gotta go because
Okay,
I
okay,
work tomorrow. So I'll finish up the
okay.
comments here. Phantom Outsider said Golden does cons, so he's agreeing with you. I think it's 30 to 35 for an autograph.
Oh wow.
And then Holdy 6480 says I like reading comics on my Kobo Libra color. The color e-ink screen looks like newsprint. I try to get books physically if I really like the art story, but digital is great for finding new series. And Woodrow says, hurry, Eric. And Phantom Outsider says, I have the bulk of the ROM run, but I just got the first ROM omnibus, and that's half the books in one place. I paid 40. I think it's worth it.
I'm gonna switch the setup now because my back is starting to hurt and I don't want to push it. So I'm just gonna bring this operation to my normal area.
And let's see. Some person says, I read something around 8 years ago that print media was still selling despite everything being digital.
What we're still selling?
Print media. I don't know. I mean, comics really don't sell the way they used to. So I don't know if that's true or not. They don't sell nearly what they used to. Um, Phantom Outsider says, where is Eric the Guapo located? Because John's in New York somewhere. You're in Long Island, right? I've heard you say. Oh,
There you go. I was just
oh,
switching. I was just switching. It was making horrible echo noises. I just wanted to.
oh, okay.
Let me just turn off this overhead light so my forehead isn't glowing in the dark. Okay, back to normal.
Yeah, you got quite the collection, my man. Kudos.
Yeah, well, when you're a crazy person that collects your whole life, you know, that's why, to get maudlin here, that's why I get annoyed when I go on comic book Twitter and comic book YouTube, and it's just people fighting and nobody's talking about comics.
Yeah, because
I
again,
get a little annoyed at your boy Zach. The name of his channel is Comics Matter, and lately he's been talking about movie critics. Like, who gives a shit?
right. It's because politics sells and they're trying to get people into their channel, and politics is a hot button. So you just say
Well,
anything crazy to get people to go to the channel.
I guess I got I got almost 2,000 subscribers to YouTube. I guess now I should start talking about Trump and Biden. But I don't want to talk about that. I turned on the YouTube to not talk about that. I talk about that at work. I talk about that with friends. I went to lunch today. We talked about it. And then
Right.
at night, I want to talk about, Doom Patrol. That's what I want to talk about. Oh, I look at
Right.
look at your cat back there. What's your cat's name?
Oh, her name is
Now I can
Pebbles.
see. What's his name?
Pebbles.
Hey,
Pebbles. Come here, kitty, 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 kitty. Come here. She's
My
an
glass-
old crotchety. She's
My
an old
glasses are
crotchety.
fogging up. So
Hi,
let's
baby.
see. Phantom Outsider. What do you say? Well, when they released everything was newsstands and convenience stores. Not every store had every. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Like, for some reason, I could never find the Defenders. I could never find Master of Kung Fu. I didn't, believe it or not, I didn't know about this strange comic called the X-Men until the Dark Phoenix saga started, and then I was able to find like 6 or 7 back issues. I randomly found X-Men 114, and I was like, "What is this?" And somebody's like, "Oh, X-Men. It's pretty good," but I couldn't find it. So X-Men 114 was my first X-Men.
My first X-Men was 210, right before the Mutant Massacre.
Oh, okay.
210 was my first one. I was in sixth grade when that came out, I believe, because I was born in 74. So
That's the year I started collecting comics.
yeah, I was born in 74. So the first time I read the Dark Phoenix saga, I read it in one of the early trades that they had released with the Bill Sienkiewicz cover. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it had a
don't
Bill.
remember the trade covers.
Yeah, but it had a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, and then it didn't have any other covers of the original, so I didn't know what they looked like. But it had the whole story. That's how I because of growing up in the 80s and 90s, I learned everything through Classic X-Men. It's kind of funny, as I got with the on X-Men 210 happened to coincide with Classic X-Men #1.
Okay.
So I got I started with Classic X-Men, and pretty much that's how I learned all these old tales, because we had no Google, we had nothing back then. So that's Classic X-Men is how I discovered. Now I have every issue from the first Kitty Pryde, so 129. I have every issue of X-Men from 129 to 450, I think.
Some
So I
person says there's book scanners that don't damage books. It looks like, could you maybe send me information on Twitter or comment in this chat? You know what I mean, in the comment section, to direct me towards this, because I would, if what that guy is saying is true. I mean, it doesn't. If I send them scans of a rare comic, that doesn't scam me. You know what I mean? So I'd like to think I'm contributing to a comic archive. I think that's important. So I'll help him if I'm not going to damage my book. I'm talking more about books, stuff like fiction. Okay. I skipped over a comment. Comics don't sell now because they stink. Did you see Johnny Storm having sex with the freaking squid lady? Jeez.
And everyone's gay.
Yeah. If he goes on Real All Comics online, they have everything online for free.
That's a website.
My financial future. Yeah. Later.
So that's a website that he's referring to. Now, anybody that goes to that site, you got to have a good pop-up blocker.
I left my soda in there. Keep talking. I can hear you.
Yeah. So that you need a good pop-up blocker for that that site. Otherwise, everything it just bombards you with ads. So make sure if anybody that you have a good pop-up blocker on your computer, or you are going to get. It's the same thing with the manga. There's manga readers online, but you better have something on your pop-up blocker, or you're going to get bombarded.
Some person says the only view is drama people will gain is drama. Absolutely, absolutely. I you know, yes, I would love to have 30,000 people watching every one of my videos, and you know, because right now I'll make like $130 a month from my advertisement. I don't mind telling you that, it's no big deal. And all that really does is pay for StreamYard and some comic books. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if I could pay my mortgage and pay some groceries? You know, that would be awesome. I would love that. But if I have to start talking about Kamala Harris all day long, or Trump all day long, or worse, say some person's a jerk and Phantom Outsider is an idiot, and you know what I mean? And Jose, oh, look at Jose, look at him over there with his cat. I don't want to do that. That destroys your soul. And I got invited to join a group like that, and when I turned it down, they turned on me, and I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it one bit. And one of the guys, I said, "Don't you want to talk about comics?" And he goes, "John, comics. Nobody wants comics. Nobody wants to talk about comics." And I said, "Well,
that's
I
not
want to
true.
talk comics." And
that is,
you know, I'm a target.
Yeah, that is not true. But I think, unfortunately, those channels just overshadow. And
Right.
if they and because they don't go, the channels that go backwards, like covering stuff from the past, would do well. But because a lot of people don't like modern comic books, they just they don't want to cover today's comics, but then they don't cover yesterday's comics. So
Yeah.
I've been following some. There's a guy. Look, I'm not a big on the mid '90s. It's not my favorite era. The
No,
mid
it's not.
'90s of like, remember when they turned Thor into, I don't know. I don't think he even had a shirt, and
Yeah.
and Mike Deodato was drawing him during that time. But I'm not big. But there's a guy that covers. He grew up in the '90s. He loves that garbage, and I follow him, and I actually will go, and he'll read like you do, and he'll read these old '90s comics that I never read, and I go, oh, that's kind of cool. So I follow him because all he does is read comics, and then
Right.
he'll draw that kind of stuff. But that's what his channel is reading '90s comics and drawing, and he loves that '90s style. So he draws with that whole Rob Liefeld-esque era of stuff. So I love comic books, and I like talking about comic books.
Yeah.
But I don't know any new comics because I really hardly read them.
Yeah, I like Guapo says, you said it best. They do, and maybe I was naive thinking, oh, maybe I could guide them back into comic books. Who I guess that was arrogance on my part.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually quit like that boy Zach. I don't listen to him anymore because, again, it's all hot takes. I don't do either. Oh, Thinking Critical, again, it's right leaning, which I don't mind. I lean right, and a lot of the stuff I agree with, but I don't need to. I don't know. I don't need to. I don't know. Listen to that over and over and over. I get it. Yeah. So
it's funny because I still listen to your boy Zach every day. I'm very loyal to people, contrary to what the person who tried to cancel me might have said, but I'm very loyal. And, so I listen to him every day, and I understand what he's saying. But he has a lot of weird takes, like he's pro AI in comics. And I kind of think I understand what he's saying, and I don't think he's wrong. When you fight against technology, you eventually lose. So, I'm going to be an early adopter, but you shouldn't be saying that when your fan base is comic book fans and who are comic book artists and stuff like that. It's like me saying, oh yeah, I can't wait till these 3D printers come out and build buildings. I'm a construction worker. You know what I mean? That's rooting for me and my buddies to be out of work. Right. But I also understand you can't fight that kind of stuff. So, and then going off on movie reviewers, who cares? The name of the channel is Comics Matter. I don't care. I look at it like this. There's a lot of people on the internet right now that are doing things that I don't like. I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
give two shits. Let them do it. Just ignore them. It's better for your sanity.
I feel the same way. It's like in Twitter. I don't block anybody on Twitter. I mute a ton. I mute. And eventually all I get are puppies, kitties, and comic books. That's the only things I haven't muted.
There's still plenty of good comics. There's still plenty of good comics. When I was in my, in the 80s and 90s, I was into punk rock, and I had to be the guy that discovered the new bands. It was a lot of work, but it was very rewarding, and I enjoyed it. And I got to admit, I enjoyed when my friends were like, "Oh, what cool new bands, John?" And I'd be like, this, but I stopped doing that work because I had to get to work. I couldn't collect comics and collect records. I just didn't have enough time. I had to get a job. I had to finish college and blah, blah, blah. So now I'm sure there's good bands out there. I just don't know, and I'm not willing to do the work. But that's the way it is with comics. Like I never would have found Wolf and Batsy if I didn't do the work, or Horace H. Hoover comics that I always talk about. There's so many good Fiendish. Oh my God. Like, I'm not even joking. I said this, and it's no word of an exaggeration. When I read issue number 1 of Fiendish, I actually stood up and I was like excited. I wanted to walk around and talk to somebody about that comic, So, and I'm like, oh, it's a girl, like, am I creepy if I reach out to her? I'm a 56-year-old man. I don't know how old she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did. She came on my channel, and, I consider her a friend. She might be coming to New York for Comic-Con. If she does, we all might go out afterwards. That's all because I did the work and found a comic that I liked. So Eric, yeah, there's good comics out there. I'm not giving up. The medium is still good. He had the comics as a way to break the monotony, as otherwise he'd be hunched over circuit boards all day long. He was. Who are you talking about? You talking about Zach? Oh! I skipped a comment. Okay, in the early 90s, found a place in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Had a guy comics. What he really did was work on circuit board designs. And I see. Okay, yeah, comics are great. I probably have different politics, but excellent. Excellent. And I'm not going to hate you. I had lunch today with the self-professed lefty, and we had a great conversation. We sat there for too long drinking coffee, and I came home by myself spinning around because I drank too much coffee. Drama is an addiction. Yep. What is that? What is the, like, people get to be sex addicts? Some people become addicted to jogging. Endorphins. It releases endorphins in your head, and you're chasing, and you get immune to the endorphins,
and then you need more.
And you need more. They say you need to. I forget, but it's like 9 days or something like that, or is it 90 days? I forget. But if you could, to reset your endorphins, so I think these people who get off Twitter, get off social media, I think it's healthy. It resets everything. And then you realize how silly it is.
So one of the things now that I have a problem with is all the preachiness. For example, Peter David, which I talked about. Peter David's a leftist, but he doesn't, when he writes, he doesn't preach at you. Say some of the greatest some of the greatest stories ever are by Peter David. I'm actually covering his Hulk run on my channel because I love it so much. Chuck Dixon, who's a right-leaning writer, does not preach at you.
Right. And Chuck Dixon got hired by Captain Ironwood, the self-proclaimed communist. And they got along like gangbusters because they were adults. I had Captain Ironwood on my channel. She was one of my first interviews, if you go back, and she was wonderful. And we talked politics. I had J.M. DeMatteis, who's a super lefty. I love that guy. I would hug that guy. That guy gave me so much entertainment. Why not?
Yeah, it's just now everybody just like, Trump this or Biden this. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, some person is absolutely right. Politics are devices, and I refuse to let it poison me. Good for you. I would rather make a friend than walk around in the bit. Yeah.
Amen.
Guys, I'm not even joking. I got family members that won't talk to me since 2016. Every Saturday I head to my local comic store and talk comics with anyone who wants to. This is what this channel is supposed to be. I don't know. Where do you live? Which state? You don't have to tell me where.
Who, me or him? Oh, I live in Nebraska.
Oh yeah, I'm never gonna bump into you in a comic book store. So we got this channel,
Yeah.
And that's why tomorrow night I have it's clobbering time. It's supposed to be. Remember when you were 14 and the most important thing in the world was to convince that other guy that yes, Batman could beat up Wolverine? That
Right.
so tomorrow at 8 o'clock, it's going to be Q versus the Beyonder. And no speculating now. Keep it tomorrow. Also, drama ages people fast. Absolutely. I don't know about you, but it ages my soul.
Have you ever watched that channel that does superhero fights? And they're cinematic, like Wolverine versus Wonder Woman, Batman versus Darth Vader, things like that. Like super.
Yeah, I saw the Batman versus Darth Vader. And somebody did a one. I just watched it again yesterday because I just love it so much. I have it bookmarked on my Twitter. Superman versus the Hulk fighting. Have you ever seen that? It's actually scary because you see the speeds, and Superman keeps bringing Hulk way up into the air to keep. Oh, it's actually scary to watch. Like,
yeah,
you know, I love that. Oh, you live in Southern California. Everybody I get along with is far away from me. How do you live in Los Angeles, man? I take that back. I don't want to.
Is he rich?
Because I think we'll always keep print. We'll always use less than paper. I find that physical media is important. My wife has DVDs of all of her favorite movies. I have albums, vinyl and CDs of my music, because didn't they delete the Quarterly had like his Magic the Gathering cards deleted because of politics? So I know that they changed a couple of Disney movies. They edited them and changed them around. Like if you get digital comics, I know like they take like the cigarettes out of Wolverine's mouth and stuff, but I know that's not a big deal, but that's history. That's literature. You don't change literature around. You got some old comics there. I can see the yellowing. What is it?
Yeah. So these are my reader's copies. These are the originals. Look at how much. So this is Amazing Spider-Man. Look, it's not even in a floppy, but look. I don't know if you can see how
it's well read,
worn, and I do have a good one, but man, oh man, and yeah, I do love this too, and I still keep it, but there's just something about newsprint. I really miss newsprint, and the new comics are made with that paper that I don't know what it's called. It's just hard now to look at it, and everything looks like a Photoshop application of how much color and how much stuff can you put on these things. And look how simple they used to color back then, because it just wasn't. And you look now and nobody draws. There's no more ink slingers. Like you look at McFarlane and all the black that he would put on stuff, and you just don't see that anymore. Everything now, like I said, it's a Photoshop application where they got to put 10 billion colors on one page. It's
a shame now, because I would love to print my comic on newsprint, but now it's more expensive.
Oh,
and it's not the same newsprint as it was. Yeah, and Pete Samedi, when I first pitched my comic to Pete Samedi, and he thought it was too much like Superman, and he's afraid of getting sued, so he rejected it, which is probably for the best, because now I get to do whatever I want. And but I said, okay, so it's not going to be Alterna, but could you tell me who prints your comics? He will not tell me who prints it. It's like a state secret. So somebody find Pete Samedi, get him drunk, and get the name of that printer, because I would love to get my comics printed the way Alterna does. I agree with you, Eric. But Pete says he prints I think he prints like 3,000 or 4,000 copies of an issue, and I don't know if 3,000. I don't think I couldn't do 3,000 copies of my comic. I would. That's like $4,000 in printing costs, $5,000 in printing costs, and I only took in $7,000. So, what I mean?
Have you ever asked people when that make their ads, like in the in the local, I mean, I can't imagine those people that have free magazines that you see in the weekends, you see in the grocery stores. That there has to be a printer somewhere.
Good
that
idea.
doesn't
That's
leak.
a real good idea. That's I don't know if you saw yesterday. I talked with Paul Ravoche. Paul Ravoche has been in the comic book since 1983. He's one of those guys that everybody, I'm sure, has something by this guy, but they don't realize it. And he wants to do crowdfunding. And I told him one of the things I do is I ask people for information. So you just gave me information. Every time, like I go on, I try to get. Wow, I just went from 11 viewers to 52 viewers. Did somebody just finish? Did Michael Bancroft just finish? Am I having a Bogan raid? Thank
But
you, everybody.
yeah, those because I see newsprint all the time. I mean, you see those little ads, so it's
You know
still
what?
printed. So
You know what? I showed that Marshall Strong comic. That my buddy Mike, his brother-in-law works for a printer. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. There
yeah,
you go. Thank you. You just gave me an
yeah,
idea, Jose.
there
No
has
way,
to be,
Jose.
yeah, there has to be a place where you can get them cheaper because there's no way those people would spend that much money on something they're pretty much giving for free. So
Right. Yeah, good thinking. For new people who just popped in, this is an open invite. This is just a comic book hangout. So if anybody wants to, come on in and talk with Jose and I and the people. Eric, when are you going to come in? Phantom Outsider, when are you going to come in? Some person. It's about comics. That's what we're doing. Oh, I guess it would be better if I actually put it up. And thank you for being my moderator while I was sorting those comics back there.
yeah, no problem. I had time. I was just just sitting there.
Time to do some detective work. Go to the printers and ask them who does Alterna. Find out. And then Pete will be mad at me. And then Pete, because he wouldn't tell me, I'm putting it on Twitter. No, I wouldn't do that. Bill Williams sent me an email that I just saw just before I went live. So I hope my comic's fully lettered. I'll tell you, when you're writing a script, it's fun. When you get an art back, it's fun. When you get colors back, it's fun. But when you get the lettering back, you got a comic. It's now a comic, and now I'm getting that feeling in my stomach. Oh my God, people are going to be reading this soon. Like, it's September. I'm hoping that I'll be printing by the end of September because I said October. So, I hope as long as I got one comic in the mail by October 31st, I hit my deadline. But that's my goal. I said October. Oh, you got no mic? Okay. I'm not currently set up for streaming. Okay. I'm kickstarting my channel again in October. Okay, cool. So, hey, Luniverse, how you doing, buddy? How's it going? How's your channel going? Did you launch your channel? How's everything? So yeah.
Do you hand letter? Do you have a hand letter, or are they lettering digitally?
It's Bill Williams. He's digitally.
Okay.
Digitally.
Digitally.
He's lettering digitally. That was real different. He's Bill Willingham's letterer. He also does that comic Punchline. He's a pro. He also had a comic in the 90s called Heroic Tales. So, that's the wheels of karma are working.
So for fun, and I'm going to publish this for free because I'm going to stick it in one of those websites. But I don't know if you can see this, but I actually letter based on John Workman. Do you know John Workman, the letterer of?
Yeah, he's my favorite letterer of all time.
Yes. So I stole his S and his R and his U
consonants.
Yes, because I love them. I wanted to study them. So what I did, because I hand letter them, I mean digitally, of course, I used the stylus to hand letter it. But what I did was I went and sometimes it takes a minute to load these suckers. There we go. Let me close this.
Logic Finest with the good comment. It says Google your local printing services, find out where schools print their textbooks, dovetail that with comic printers, book printers, just a little legwork. Yeah, I'm gonna call my buddy Mike's brother-in-law. He's like a manager at a print. They print newspapers, and my nephew worked for him for a little while. I'm surprised I never thought of it. So I don't know if they have the capability of printing comics, but I'm going to ask. That might be because that's over in Queens. I could drive over and pick up my comics and stuff like that, save on shipping, and actually watch my comics. Now I'm excited. Thank you, Logic. Yeah, that's John Workman.
Yeah. So I stole his R, and I just study. I study and study and study and try to emulate, because I think he's just so amazing. I was like, how it's so unique. You can read any comic and see him, and you're like, that's John Workman.
Right. He was the first letterer that I noticed.
And
every
then
other letter, because it's mean to say this, but good lettering should almost be invisible. It should just, you'd notice it to read it, and it shouldn't stand out unless it's a crazy word balloon or a sound effect or something like that. But like John Workman, there's something about his lettering that it was different. It stood out, and it was with Walt Simonson, the Walt Simonson Thor. Then he brought John Workman over to his Fantastic Four, and I think he has John Workman with him on the Ragnarok comics. So they must be friends, or he just really liked that lettering. But I agree that's he's the first letterer that I was like, I like this letterer, and I looked for his name. Like I'll be reading 10 issues of the Avengers, and I'm like, oh, who's the letterer? And then I'll notice it's like it was 3 different letterers in that same run, and I never noticed.
Mm-hmm. I know the 3 greatest letterers are Workman, Orzechowski, and Kevin Kline.
Orzechowski's another good one. Kevin Kline, I know the name, but I can't.
The Sandman, I think Kevin. I think it's Kevin Kline. Kline is the last name. The Sandman with Neil Gaiman's Sandman, and he works a lot in DC Comics. He's like DC's Orzechowski.
Okay.
And he is very good. I believe he lettered Batman Year One. I believe. Don't quote me on that, but possibly. But he's another one who's lettering. He takes letters into this beautiful. They're just wonderful. It makes the reading experience more.
To answer Logic Finest, I'm going to do that. These are all good ideas. I know that Tonic Bowl uses a comics Wellspring, and his comics look really good. I don't know if anybody backed Brian Bau's last 3 comics, 11, 10, 11, 12 of Wolf and Batsy. They came out outstanding. So Brian has been very, very helpful. I mean, Brian is going to get a huge thank you in my comic. He turned me on to the person who made his cards, so I got my cards made because of the person who made Brian's cards was the same person. So I was, going to reach out and be like, what were the actual numbers? Because I don't know about the paper weights, and stock weights of the covers. That's so like, I'm going to be spending time like getting comics mailed to me and be like, okay, because I have to touch them and look at them, and then, the proofs and approve them. So I didn't even think of that there's local printers right here in Queens that one of my childhood friends, we went to the same comic book store. He grew up and became the brother-in-law of one of my buddies. I'm going to call him tomorrow. I didn't even think of that. It's a really good idea. Unless there's a horror comic where the letters font add to the, yes. Yeah. Sometimes you'll see some really, really cool lettering, but for the most part, like I'm an electrician. We do a lot of pipe works and buildings. If you're noticing the pipe work and buildings, it's because it's bad. Like if you're noticing the lettering, it's either because it's outstanding and it's meant to be noticed, or it's just in the way. I've seen a few comics where like the lettering is awful, guys. What are you doing? But for the most part, lettering is like designed to be incognito. Lastly, local printing services all know who larger printing companies are. Don't be afraid to ask them. Educate yourself on paper stocks, ink binding, cover material. Okay. I go ahead, talk for a second. I'm just going to grab something. It's right over here so I can hear you.
All right. So, I'll go back to lettering.
Yeah, lettering's a good time.
Rick Parker here.
Forever.
Yeah.
But these
Which-
comics, oh, this is Kablam. Okay. This is
Oh, yeah.
because these are excellent. These Silverline comics,
Mm-hmm.
these are excellent. I love everything about them. The only thing I wouldn't do is, you already know that the back cover of my comic is going to have original art. You know, nothing against Kablam or Comics Wellspring, but I don't want to advertise for you. I want everything to be about my comic. And then the inside cover, this is going to have a mock ad. This is going to be the letters page. And then this is going to be the thank yous and credits. So there's going to be no ads for the, because I think it's like $2.17 to print this. But if you don't do the ad, it's like $2.53 or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's a
Oh.
pretty big difference. But you know,
Yeah, especially on the long.
you know, but I don't know how many of these Silverline comics they printed in a run, but you also get economy of scale. You know, you print a bunch, they give you a lower price per issue. But I've been avoiding that. Like I was saying earlier, the Renzo cover and the Pat Broderick cover, those sold pretty well. The Michael T. Gilbert, but they were on my initial run. So I think all the people that were excited and the impulse, they all bought. And then
Sure.
later on, I did the Michael T. Gilbert cover on Kickstarter. That didn't do as good as I wanted it to do. And now this cover is dying on the vine, which is just upsetting to me. Oh, you know, because it's so good, you know. So this is going to be the rarest cover of them all. And to me, this is the most superhero-y cover.
Yeah.
You know, I really love this.
I like
So this
the
is going to be the
purple.
rare one, guys. You know, because how many did I even sell? One. I sold one. Two. I sold two. Wow, that's it. I sold two. Wow.
I love the beard. You don't see too many bearded superheroes.
Yeah. So this is, you know, because I was hoping to print, you know, 500 Renzos, 500 Michael T. Gilberts, 500 Gustaviches, and 500 Pat Brodericks, you know, and then, you know, when issue 2 comes out, have bundles of all 4 covers. But I think I made a mistake that because by now the enthusiasm is over. You know,
Right.
if I had put all 4 covers on Fund My Comic when I first launched, I think a lot of people would be like, I'm going to get all 4. I'm going to get all 4. And instead of people buying $20 plus $10 shipping, they would have got $40 plus $10 shipping. You know what I mean?
Have you thought about making it maybe for issue 2 and moving it as another cover versus
Well-
keeping it there? Then
What do you mean?
like, is this going to be? It's an ongoing story, right, or an
Correct.
ongoing issue? So, like, using that cover and repurposing instead of
No,
is
issue
that
2
number-
has a different bad guy.
okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Issue 2 has a different bad guy, so I can't use this. So this is going to be the super rare variant, you know. Oh, Zach Tan's awake and still blessing us. That's good. The best special effects should be the ones you don't notice. Hi all. Hey Gary, how's everything? Good. We just had a talk a couple of days ago. Tony, your comic collection is good. Thank you. Remember, matte paper and ink plus fingers equals smudged edges, at least slightly damaged. Glossy fares better against fingers, but regular print paper is the classic comic book. 3 separate papers. Yes. I don't like the matte. You know,
Nope.
I don't like the matte, so I think that's right out. Glossy, that's okay. But
That's why when you get these omnibuses, it's the glossy paper. It's actually the same coloring that was printed back then. It's just the same color scheme, but it looks different. That's
right,
why when
it
they
looks
when
gaudy.
yes,
Yes,
because it
that's one of
doesn't
the things. Like Luke Stone is going to do my pre-press. That's one of the things that we're going to have to coordinate. Is if the colors are going to look terrible on the new paper, you know. But yeah,
So
you know.
is the newsprint that's expensive that you said there's a newsprint? Is that the heavier newsprint? Do they stick? Because I refuse to believe that the old newsprint that these '80s ones are is too expensive because this is the same newsprint newspapers use.
I don't know.
Is
I
it
haven't
a
even picked
heavier?
up a newspaper in forever. I gotta maybe tomorrow I'll go actually pick up a newspaper. You know, that's what I should do. Call my local newspaper. You know, because we get like a penny saver and stuff. Fine. They get printed somewhere. That's a good
So
idea.
when Wolverine, this one uses newsprint still, but it's a heavier set of newsprint. This is Wolverine 85. So it's still using newsprint, but it's that heavier stock paper. Is that maybe what they're referring to? That
I don't know.
it's
Hey, we got NZRRT. Sorry for super chat for 10 New Zealand dollars, which I think is I don't know. I have no idea what that is, but thank you. Sorry, I can only drop in for a second. Watch Jim Shooter's interview. Incredible hearing stories and insight from the legend himself. Yeah, I love that. Sooner or later, we'll do a sequel Elementals V&V stream. Yeah, I got all my modules over here. We're waiting for you. On
your
Indiegogo, you
Jim
can see
Shooter.
what before the campaign. I think you said you couldn't do that with Kickstarter. No, I could see how many sold, but I don't know who bought them. You know, as you fill out the surveys on Kickstarter, that information gets kicked over to me. So there's like 3 people who didn't fill out their surveys, so I don't know who they are. But I only had 53 backers on Kickstarter. I think I got 50 surveys, so I got all that information. Fund my comic, I get it instantly. And Indiegogo, I'm probably not going to get it because it's a $500 goal, and I only have $193. So the Mike Gustovich cover might not even happen, which is a real shame. I'm printing a couple because Mike Gustovich wants 5, so I got to print at least 5, and I want 1, so that's 6. So I'm printing at least 6. But I was hoping to print an equal amount, and then when issue 2 came out, just have a bundle deal, all 4 covers. So I don't know. It depends on the price. I can't lay out $4,000 printed covers. Especially this one that only sold 4 covers. Let's see. The Gustovich. Okay, so 1, 2. Yeah, I sold two covers. Oh man, that's sad. Oh well.
I was gonna tell you that your Jim Shooter interview was excellent. I thought it was really good.
It was so much fun.
It is such a shame. I think I had told you once about Roger Stern not getting work, that I thought it was a shame. Jim Shooter being treated like a redheaded stepchild by Marvel is
after he
also
saved
equally.
Marvel.
It's such a shame as well. I feel terrible. When I heard that story of his when he got taken to court, I was like, what a bunch of bastards they were. I can't believe they did that to him. They did it to make him broke. And I had heard it before, but hearing him say it again just really irked me. But I just thought that interview was so well done, and so just letting him talk. That man is so knowledgeable.
Right. What am I going to do? Just let him talk.
You should get Louise Simonson and Walt Simonson. They friggin' talk all the time.
They haven't said no.
Yeah.
I asked them right as they were moving, and then I asked him again, and he says, he goes, yeah, you got us right as we were moving, but can we, give me. So they asked me to wait a couple of months. So I think at the end of September I'll ask him again. I don't want to be a pest.
Right.
I've been talking to Walt and Louise Simonson.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people are happy. A lot of people are happy to talk, but it's just a matter of timing. And in the past 2 months, I've been more focused on my comic. I got to go back and get some classic. I don't know if anybody knows who Carol Lay is, but she wrote Wonder Woman for a while. She wrote a bunch of she was going to come on, and literally the day she was going to come on, she was like, John, I got COVID. And then I messaged her, I haven't heard from her. So I got to see if she's okay. But I loved her comics. What Good Girls was the name of the comic. I freaking love that comic. You can put out a survey for those who bought the standard cover on. Well, what I'm going to do is when Indiegogo is done, like if you notice, the Michael T. Gilbert cover is on Fund My Comic. All the covers are going to go to Fund My Comic, and I'm going to keep the store open so people can buy. So I'm going to print some Gustovich covers. I just hope people sell. But I learned my lesson. So for issue 2, I'm going to have a Renzo cover and a variant cover. That's it. But it's going to be a flip book. So there's going to be 2 covers on each comic, because it's going to have the Patriarch, and then you flip the book over. It's going to be Mary Sue. And that's both of them are going to be Renzo. And then this cover, it's Jose Garcia doing the Patriarch, and then Josh Howard doing Mary Sue. And that's it. And I'm offering both at the same time. So all the enthusiastic people, the impulse buyers, they buy them all at once. And I really am kicking myself. If I had because I had all 4 covers ready to go. If I had put all 4 covers on the initial campaign, I think people would have bought all 4 covers all at once.
When you said Jose Garcia, is it Jose Luis Garcia Lopez?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
The same guy who's doing Immortal Rising right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, how did you get Garcia Lopez?
No, not him. I would love to get him.
I think he's retired, but man, that man did every DC that you saw in t-shirts and in cans. I mean, he was their illustrator. Like John Romita, everything that John Romita didn't get published in a comic book. It went out into the mainstream and t-shirt designs and all that. And Jose Luis Garcia Lopez did a few comic books, but most of everything you see was in their merchandising. That's what he did. Oh, the guy could render.
Yeah. He was like what the in-house stylist, just like our John Romita was for Marvel, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, buddy. I gotta go. I work tomorrow, so have fun the rest of the night, my man.
You too.
It was fun talking to you. Peace, my man.
You too.
Bye.
All right, anybody else want to come in? Otherwise, I'll just call it a night because I hate looking. Now my face is big. I need to go. Homework calls. Yeah, do your homework. Do your homework. Eric's going to bed. Good night, everybody. Thanks. 58 people watching. I feel bad turning off when there's 58 people watch. It's a learning process. It's cool that you experiment. Yeah, I experimented. Reach out to Razorfist and ask about printing and how to do better. Market yourself. Okay. See, I don't really know who Razorfist is. I keep my I purposely keep my circle small because it's nasty out there, and I like all the people in my circle. It's really positive. We talk about comics and I'm enjoying that. And every time I reach out, it's like sticking your finger in the fire. Keep the comic talk going. So come on in, Mike. Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. I could tell you really want to sort your books. I do the same things with my books. Yeah, I just I put a box in order and I got frustrated, and so I walked away. Whenever I get frustrated, there's no time limit, there's no rush. So I realized I skipped a box, so I got to take a couple boxes out and put another one in. And I was on camera and I didn't want to get frustrated on camera, so I stopped. So here's the invite. Anybody else want to pop in? I'm kind of curious. I'm just going to YouTube, see if anybody's streaming right now. I know MSK is. Yeah, he only invites me in on his Tuesday streams. I hate snipe streaming. But I was just seeing if anybody else. Badness is streaming. So Pops is streaming, and Master Swag in my circle. I'm sure there's other people streaming. Just curious. Because all of a sudden I went from 11 viewers to 58 viewers in a second. You guys are ready? I'm going to show you something really scary. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Rah!
Yeah, doing sal iawn. Sut John?
He's casting spells again. He's casting spells again.
Oh, sorry.
Where are you? In the barbershop?
No, I'm at work right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a barbershop, but no. I'm at work. No, I just thought I'd drop in for like 5 minutes. I got to run. Got in 5 minutes.
Super chat.
But I thought I'd just drop in.
I understand what Zach. I don't know if you watch your boy Zach. When he gets super chats, he gets embarrassed. I didn't understand what he meant until people started super chatting me. Now I get embarrassed. So thank you.
Oh, don't be. I think I mean, that Shooter interview was fantastic. It's like a living the guy's like a living museum
Yes, he's
of
a
comic
living
book history.
resource. He's a living
Yeah.
comic book resource. Yes.
Like I thought your Mark Miller interview was brilliant, but the Jim Shooter one was another level up. That was just fantastic. Anyone who hasn't seen it, after the stream's over, go away watch it. I'm gonna go and share it on Twitter. It's brilliant.
Oh, cool. Mark Miller asked me, do you have any other interviews you want me to watch? So I sent him Shooter, I sent him Jam, and he was like, these are great. These are a lot of fun. So
I agree with you that Shooter's tenure was the pinnacle
yes
of Marvel's achievement. I mean, under him, so many great stories and creators, rose to prominence and gave us such, stories that people love now still. I mean, what are people going to say about the 2010s and 2020s in 2050? Oh, what were the comics like then? Well, I don't know. Somebody wore a skirt. I don't know. It's garbage today. And Shooter was 100% right. He was 100% right in everything he said.
Logic. I'm just keep those conversations private. What is that in reference to? I'm just curious. Refresh my memory because I don't want to address something that might not be what you talk about. But when it comes to private messages, oh man, does that burn my butt when people read other people's private messages. Unless you're defending yourself against a crime, private messages are private messages. In the real world, if you told me something in private and then you left and I go around and start blabbing it to the guys at work would beat the crap out of me for doing that. I don't understand these. All of these comic book people who stay in their basement, these creators who work from home and then share private messages to score brownie points, they are the biggest wusses in the world. And you know what I'm talking about. You ain't no alpha wolf when you do stuff like that. But geez, that just got me mad. By the way, Frog G is signing up. Good. Let's get back to comics. Outside of Marvel, look at Shooter's contribution to the Transformers universe. His response. See, Transformers I missed. I was too old for Transformers. I was too old for He-Man. I missed G.I. Joe, Thundercats. But I have a foreman who's a couple of years younger than me, maybe 10 years younger than me, and he gets so mad when I tell him, yeah, I'm just not interested in Transformers. He's like, it's so good. Like, he showed me clips and snippets on his phone. And I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty good. No one likes
Starblaze. You must have seen Starblazers, though. You've been in the right age for that.
Yes, I used to run home because it was at 3:00, and I would get out of school at 2:30. I literally had to run home to watch Starblazers. So it was like, oh, 3 Starblazers. But I that's a show I would like to sit down and watch in order in every episode. Does it hold up? But I tell you, the way space travel works in that cartoon influenced me, and you're going to see if I ever make it to the space epic in my comic that I'd like to tell, you're going to see that like, did you see my talk yesterday with Paul Revoche?
I haven't watched it yet, John. I just haven't had time.
I had to say, please don't sue me because I ripped off some of your ideas of how my city works.
Oh, no.
The way he designed Radiant City, it stayed with me. And then when I was doing my comic, I'm like, oh my God, I just ripped off Radiant City. And he was like, don't worry, John, I won't sue you. But the Starblazers people, they're going to be like, oh, that's how space, like that wave motion gun and everything. I freaking love that.
The wave motion gun never gets old. I'll say this, though, because I've seen on YouTube snippets from the more updated versions of Starblazers, because they did one in the 2010s, I think. They've done updated versions.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think the original, check it out. They didn't change the sound of the cannons, the turret guns, which is brilliant, but they did change the sound of the wave motion gun. And to me, nothing beats the original sound of the wave motion gun. It's like a scream almost.
Yeah.
And that anything that's in front of it is going to disintegrate. Oh, good time.
I realized that in manga and anime, or as we called, I'm an old timer. Back when Starblazers was on TV for the first time, it was called Japanimation, a term that people don't really like anymore. But that's how it was Japanimation. And then later on, I'm like, what do you mean? That's Japanimation? No, it's anime? Okay, whatever. So whatever. I don't know if that reached New Zealand, but that's
Did you? Well, I lived in Canada
oh
in the 70s, in
so
the
you probably
70s and
went to that
80s.
nation.
We left the UK, moved to Canada, then I moved to New Zealand. Did you get Force 5 when you were growing up?
No, I never heard of it.
It would have been 1981, probably
Oh.
1980, and it was a bunch of stuff. It was Grandizer, Vanguard Ace, Space Cateers, Sky King, bunch of stuff. Haven't seen it. Don't worry about it. But no, that was good fun. That's sort of that's sort of the start of giant robots. Would you have been a couple of years ahead of Robotech as well?
I remember Robotech. I got the comics because they were you were
Comico.
I was sorting comics. I got the Robotech comics from Comico when they first came out. You know, I really liked Robotech, but I don't remember any cartoons. I would have loved to see Robotech cartoons.
Yeah, no, the Robotech cartoons were fantastic. I watched some of my mates. They were great fun. Hey, on Comico, right? Because I've got to split in a second. Do you remember a Comico series ran the same time as Elementals? It was called Next Man, I think.
Yeah.
This is before John Burns, and he had a purple uniform.
Yeah, he looked like a He-Man, kind of.
Yeah, but except for the slit visor thing, kind of like RoboCop, and he had like this appendage thing.
You know, I've been on for 2 hours. I was in my back room sorting comics originally, picking up. I probably picked up Next Man and showed it.
How many issues did they print of that? Because I liked it. Like I got the first 3 or 4 issues, then it died. I think it was only 5 or 6 issues, then it just disappeared.
That's probably it. Probably disappeared. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I think I read it when it first came out because Comico was the first comic company that I became obsessed with besides Marvel, and I tried to get everything by it, but you know, limited resources. I mean, I'm talking. I was spending lunch money at that point in my life to buy comics.
Yeah, same.
Before I had a job. Yeah, Tony Greco. Wouldn't it be cool to live in a world where Shooter was allowed to buy Marvel? Oh my God, that's the alternative Earth that I want. Fire up that Hadrian Collider. It's funny in the 90s. Oh, I wanted to finish my thought about anime. It seems, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm probably wrong, but it seems like every anime they go like, you know, good guys fighting bad guy. Good guy gets his ass kicked, he struggles, and then good guy unleashes the super weapon. Star Blazers did it. They fired the wave motion gun. Voltron pulled out the sword. You know, they all just sooner or later pulled out the super weapon. And I always say, like, just lead with the super weapon, and then the rest of the episode.
No, it's a formula, and it's a formula that always works. Have you seen Pacific Rim?
No, I didn't see it.
Pacific Rim. I mean, Del Toro says it's like a sports movie, but no, it's not really. If you watch those old, you know, mecha and giant robot shows like Voltron, and then you watch Pacific Rim, you're like, yeah, I know exactly where this is going. I know exactly how this is going to happen. It is exactly as you say. They wait till the last second to unleash the deadly sword of whatever. Yeah, it's exactly that way.
What's funny is in the 90s, Shooter was doing a signing for his Dark Dominion book, so I bought that, but had him sign my Adventure Comics with Pharaohland. Where's Dark? It's sad to think that he got sabotaged, right? Isn't that what he's saying? He got sabotaged? You know, I still love Pharaohland. Reading up what John said, reach out to creators privately and ask how to better. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. So, yeah, I went off on an angry tangent, and I shouldn't have, but you got me saying something I shouldn't have said, but whatever. It's something I feel strongly about. But yes, Logic, fine. And when are you going to come on? Just like you came on to talk Elementals, Logic wants to come on and talk John Byrne. You know.
Ooh. Oh, well, who doesn't? John Byrne is such a giant of the industry, you know? Controversial, but the way the man draws comics changed comics, really.
Yeah.
You know, so John Byrne is such a he's a huge, enormous, towering figure.
Somebody told me that they don't like John Byrne because that's old-fashioned comics, and I think my beard turned white that day. That was the day my beard turned white. Tom Brevoort frequently I just don't like Tom Brevoort. I just like Tom Brevoort is he's just like presiding over the decline of Marvel. You know, it's like, dude, get off your butt and hire some talent. Walt Simonson is still viable. Did you see the 2012 live action Star?
I've seen the live action.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it.
Yeah, it's not that great. The live action one's not that good.
I didn't see it. Mazinger Z. I remember Mazinger Z was was one of the original Shogun Warriors.
Now that was released. I'm pretty sure Mazinger Z was released in Canada under the name Grandizer. Now I could be wrong. The chat will let me know. I think Grandizer was the other name for it. I had mates who love that. Was it Duke Fleet or Orion Quest?
I don't know. I say Japanime sometimes. You say Japanime, some people get pissed. But yeah.
I got a shooter question for you because
Sure.
I may be on the wrong thing here. Was the new universe Shooter's idea?
Yes, it was originally called the Shooterverse, and they talked him out of it.
Now, I liked it. I liked DP7 a lot. I've still got some issues.
That and Starbrand.
Starbrand
were the two good ones. When I met John Romita Sr., and I'm sorry if I keep name dropping, but how many times do you actually get to go to John Romita Sr.'s house? Yeah. We talked about how Jim Shooter came in, and I got to hear about the Jim Shooter years from a different perspective. And he said John Romita liked it because John Romita is a professional who went to work on time. John Romita said he had the option of working from home, and he says, who wants to go to work from home? He wanted to come to work. He liked going to an office. He liked being regimented. So he liked the Jim Shooter years, but he said everybody else kind of resented it. He said, but then Jim, he was a fixer, and he fixed everything. And once it didn't need to be fixed, then he became a meddler. He wasn't
a peacetime editor-in-chief.
Yeah, hey. He said once everybody appreciates a fixer, whether or not you recognize it or not, but a meddler is something different. And I didn't want to tell that story to Jim Shooter, but he says, he goes, and then like he goes, he wanted to do the whole new universe. He wanted to name it the Shooterverse. He goes, we had to talk him out of it and everything. And he was he didn't like comics like Chris Starr, the saga of Chris Starr, the Crystal Man. John Romita was saying, he goes, Jim, he couldn't stop meddling. He couldn't leave well enough alone. He couldn't just focus on these great characters. And that kind of moved him.
I thought it was fascinating, though, what he said about Claremont. Oh, well, that's a good comment there from Tony.
Yeah,
have you seen that?
Absolutely. I'll tell you a funny story about that movie. Is I almost got laid off from work, and I had to go down to the Union Hall and plead my case. And the guy sat down, and just out of the blue, because he goes, "Do you like Frank Frazetta?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had just seen Fire and Ice like a week before. Like I seen it as a kid, but I had just rewatched it as an adult. I bought the DVD. I was like, "Yeah, I just watched Fire and Ice. I bought the DVD, and if you open up the DVD, there's a Frazetta documentary." Oh, he was like, "Really?" Yeah. And we didn't even talk. And he just goes, "Yeah, go back to work tomorrow." Like it didn't even matter what happened. Didn't matter the altercation. Didn't matter. Just go back to work. All because of this movie. So yes, this movie saved me probably $60,000 because
nice
for that long would have cost me that long. I can't believe that JRC about Shooter or about just don't tell Jim Shooter that. Chuck Dixon said a bunch of Marvel burned a shoot. Yes, Chuck Dixon told a story that that Chuck went into the Marvel offices the day Shooter was fired. He just went in to ask for work, and he was a freelancer. He was old, he got anything for me? And John Byrne was, lighting a cigar, and he took everybody out to dinner and like, "Come on, Chuck." And Chuck's like, "All right." Chuck said he had really, because he was working for Larry Hama. He goes, "I never really worked for Jim Shooter." He goes, because he was doing the Savage Sword of Conan in the magazines, and that was Larry Hama's. And you don't mess with Larry Hama. So he goes, "I never really dealt with Jim." Because, but I, at that time I was a kid. I went for a free lunch with John Byrne's dime, and he says they just talked trash about him. And Chuck said he just kept his mouth shut because he goes, "Chuck, Jim Shooter saved your jobs." Like he didn't want to say anything because he wasn't Chuck Dixon like he is now, the legend.
Yeah.
He was Chuck Dixon, that freelance guy who comes in and begs for work every once in a while. So he shut his mouth. But like he's like, he saved your jobs. Like none of you would be working if not for Shooter. Maybe you'd be working for Charlton or working for DC, but you wouldn't be, Marvel was going under. So he thought it was disrespectful. Funny thing, my favorite comic artist ever, John Byrne, led the charge against Shooter. They butted heads because because Jim Shooter is John Byrne is a diva. There's no other, but like I said, it's the same. I'm a man, flesh and blood. When I was in college, there was the hot crazy ratio. We all understand what I'm talking about. The hot girls can get away with crazy. The ugly girls can't get away with crazy. But John Byrne had the talent, so he could get away with diva.
Well, he could draw anything.
Right.
Like I've been trying to find. He drew one story for Judge Dredd for 2000 AD.
Really?
Yeah, I had it back in the 1980s. Gave it to a friend stupidly. It was reprinted in Judge Dredd Crime Files, and I'm trying to find an electronic copy of it. But yeah,
Before
like
Jim Shooter, you had Roy Thomas, editor in chief.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times did you see like comics just got canceled in the middle of a story? The artists and everything changed, or they reprinted another comic because of deadlines. You didn't really see that under Jim Shooter. He took a bunch of people who just like comic books and made them professionals. And my foreman yells and screams, but I don't take it personal because that's what he's got to do. Like I always joke, like we're like a typewriter. The men, we take a little bit, we sneak out early, we take out, and then like a typewriter, the foreman comes and smacks that thing back. You remember an old-fashioned typewriter? And
yeah, there's a generation. That's a generation gap comment there, John.
And I always bring that up. So I never get, like, every job I go to, the foreman's an asshole. The foreman.
You've just lost every millennial and Gen Z viewer with that metaphor. You just lost them all. Sorry, brother.
Got to do, and that's what Jim Shooter's got to do. Like, okay, you're slacking off, and it's human nature. And the foreman doesn't even really get mad, but he has to pretend to get mad, and yell and scream, and then, we do these things where he stands by the gate so nobody leaves early, and then next thing you know, he's leaving early and everybody, it's back to normal. But if you don't do it, it gets crazy. And that's what Jim Shooter did. And they resented him for it because they weren't, they wanted to be comic book people. They wanted to lay in bed and, and smoke pot and drink beer and talk about the Human Torch. Who doesn't? But they had schedules.
They did.
Am I reading the Bill William Fire and Ice comics? Well, I got them. I haven't read them yet. I'll show this. I just reorganized my 2 read piles.
Oh, wow.
So this pile is all old comics. So like, if just old comics. This, I put Cerberus on top, but that doesn't blow. This is all current comics. So comics that I read monthly, like Usagi Yojimbo, whatever. And then this is all crowdfunded comics. So I'm trying to keep up a pledge to read all the crowdfunded comics. And, and what's next is I'm finally going to read Graveyard Shift, because when I get crowdfunded comics, I just been putting them on the stack, and a couple of people, like, because they know my channel, if I don't talk about it, that means I didn't like it, because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hurt it. So, like, I guess you didn't like it. I'm like, no, well, it's been out for 9 months and you haven't said, oh, that's because it's in this pile. So I'm trying to make it a point to read crowdfunded comics first.
Well, I gotta run, John. So lovely to see you. All the best,
okay.
And take care of yourself. All the best, everyone. Check out John's interview with Jim Shooter. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah, that interview put me on the map. See you.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Artists need a strong hand in management. If not, you end up behind these. Yeah. Look at Dan Slott. The guy's playing video games all day long, and they have to hire other people to finish his scripts. Guy's writing Spider-Man. You got the life of Riley. Just turn in your scripts. Artists can't stay on schedule for anything. Also bad at business in general. Yeah. Jim Shooter had to be daddy and spank everybody. And John Byrne is super talented and he didn't want to be told what to do. I understand both their points of view. That is a good point. The more one has attractive qualities, the less constructive pushback they're likely to get. The problem. Yep. Hotter the girl, the more we'll put up the crazy. Image comic guys can't write to save their lives. Artists, yes. Yeah. That got me in trouble for a certain image guy who's now crowdfunding. I said and he said, writers are a dime a dozen. And I said, well, your comic, you should have thrown a couple of dimes at people, because this comic was a perfect example of telling, not showing, and I got attacked because I said that. Yeah, they waited until Shooter was gone in order to destroy the new. Yeah, they bombed Pittsburgh because that's what Jim Shooter was from, which I thought was incredibly petty. Incredibly petty. How mean, Anybody else want to come in? Anybody else want to come in and talk? I do like talking to people, believe it or not. I do enjoy it. I think it's fun. I like talking comics. I would, you know, just checking Twitter, see if there's anything going on. I gotta check off. Bill sent me a email with the latest pages. Oh God, I like to savor them. So when I'm done with everything, I'll open it up and savor the pages. I'm off. Great conversation. What, are you leaving? Are you leaving, or are you off work and you can come in? All right. Now that Logic Finest is gone, I'm gonna spoil something. I'm gonna share something. Okay. Let's see. Let me find it. Let's see. I always like to spoil stuff, so I'm going to spoil something. If I could find it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Okay. All right. You guys ready to be spoiled? Here's something I want to share. Oh, I gotta do this. Okay. Nope. Okay. Good enough for me. How's that? Oscar Carreno, for my, so I'm gonna do Heroic Tales 1. That's gonna be hopefully being shipped in October. Once that's done being shipped, I'd like to start building the campaign for Heroic Tales number 2 and get that done as fast as possible. It's already written and Renzo's already drawing it. So I'd like to start doing that as fast as possible. When that campaign is done, I'm going to do Eddie is Doomed. And Eddie is Doomed is about a guy who collects comics called Top Comics. And in the world, there's the top 10. So this is the 10th superhero for Top Comics. And this is Captain Arachnid. This is the Golden Age Captain Arachnid. So how cool is that? How cool is Captain Arachnid? Oh my God. I sent Oscar a picture and he sent me back something even better. Oh man. And now I will show you the Silver Age. So, you know, because it's kind of a goof on DC. There's the Golden Age and the Silver Age. So are you ready for the Silver Age? Captain Arachnid? There. That's the Silver Age. How cool. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oscar, you're so talented. Am I going to do a CGC signature series for Heroic Tales? I know that I'm going to send out a copy for myself. I'm not a CGC person, but I am going to, get one for myself because it's my comic. It's like a keepsake, an heirloom. So I might as well send, I don't know, 10 of each cover or something like that. And if people want them, I'll sell them. I imagine, why not? Look, Tony, is that something that you're interested in? Because to be honest, I have to recoup my losses. As of right now, I know shipping is going to kill me, so I'm going to be in the red. But whatever. I'm hoping over time I'll I have a mustache. I'm hoping over time it'll balance out. Because I really want to do varied cover bundles on of issue number 1 when issue 2 comes, because I know there's people who are like, yeah, this guy's, it's his first time, and I don't trust him yet, and that's normal. So I'm hoping by the time I do the campaign for number 2, people will have number 1. There'll be good word of mouth. People will trust me, and maybe they'll buy the bundles, or at least, oh, okay, I got the Renzo and the Pat Broderick. Maybe I'll get the Michael T. Gilbert and that Mike Gustovich cover. So if I'll put up a poll. Do people want CGC signature series for Heroic Tales? Because I am going to do a few for myself, just for hang it up in my comic book room. How cool would that be? So if you're going to do one, you might as well do a few, and whatever. Like, what do I do? Like, do you pay me and I send it out, or because you could do that yourself? So what? I guess I do it, and if I got good numbers, people bid on them. I don't know. I'll do a few. I'll do a few. Why not? Am I ever going to include any public domain superheroes? No, no. I don't want to do. I want to play with my toys. For the most part, there's not going to be anybody else's characters in my comics, and I say for the most part because in issue 1 and issue 2, you do see other people's characters, and I'm leaving that as vague as possible. But you know, and then Tonic Ball is thinking of doing, you know, a comic. You know, he had like across the multiverse kind of thing, and he asked if the Patriarch could be involved in one of them. I said, yeah, sure. Patriarch meeting your big booby girls, that would be awesome. So, but for the most part, I like my stuff to be self-contained, and if you know, if they're gonna meet, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another. If they're gonna meet, you know, characters, Wolf and Batsy, like I have to. Then that means that Wolf and Batsy's in my universe, and that doesn't work because he does zombies different than me. You know, is that weird? I'm really big on continuity, and if I have public domain characters in my world, then that means all their past stories I have to be consistent with their past, and I don't want to do that. I want to be consistent with mine. My buddy Mike's comic, Marshall Strong, I read that with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that like nothing in my comic is going to contradict the continuity in that comic, because you know Marshall Strong is a character in my comic, so they have to exist in the same universe. So I don't want to do public domain characters because first off, I want to make up my own characters. Second off, then that means I have to be true to their continuity, and I don't want to be, because I don't like their Atlantis or their, you know, alien races. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, I'm not going to do it. Was there any get the book signed by author and artist here? If you want, I got something in my teeth. If you want them autographed, I'm going to announce when all the comic books are here. And if you want me to sign them, I'll sign them. I'm not going to charge you. Who the hell am I? If you want them signed, I'll sign. I'll sign them on the cover. I'll sign them, whatever you want. You know, I'll try to make everybody as happy as possible. But I'm not going to sign them unless you want me to sign them. But I'm not going to charge you for it. Who the hell am I? And you know, I also have another job, so you know I can understand if you're only an artist. And let's be realistic. You know, if Graham Nolan signs something, they're going to put it on eBay and sell it. If I sign something, you put it on eBay, people are going to laugh at you. So I'll sign whatever you want. But I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to show pictures. The comic books are here. I'm going to start fulfillment. And if you want me to sign them, I'll sign them. But the thing is, I can't have Renzo because I mailed Renzo comics for reference. It took 2 months for him to get them. So if you want Renzo's autograph, you're going to have to wait 4 months. So what? It's going to come from me. I sign it. Then Renzo, 2 months to him. And then he mails it to me. And then, you know what I mean? So I was kind of hoping to make $4,000 on Indiegogo, because that would put me over the 10,000 threshold. And then I would have enough money to fly Renzo here and we would sign comics, but that don't look like it's going to happen. So, you know, track down Renzo and he'll gladly sign them. You know, so I would like to. Does that answer your question? Yeah. So I'll sign whatever you want. You know, there's just like a special pen you got to buy. I'll buy the pen and sign. I'm not going to charge you. Who the hell am I? Sign mine. You know. I'm nobody. Like for the CGC signature series, how do you do that? Like, do I sign it and then send it to CGC? I got to look that up. But issue 2, I'd like to do some cool things. Like I don't know if I'm going to be doing pint glasses anymore. Like, it kind of makes sense with the Patriarch, with the father theme, to have beer glasses. But Mary Sue doesn't warrant a pint glass. I want to start. Oh geez, you know, like I made these coins, but I never put them on any campaign. So I'm going to put them on Heroic Tales #2. You know, so where's the other coin? I always turn the lights off because the lights make a big glare. So I can never see it. Okay. But you know, these coins, they come. I'd like to make Mary Sue coins for my campaign. So I really got to rush out. These are expensive though, and they take forever. So I got to get on them right away. But the thing is, I'm out of work right now, so I'm actually stressing out about the money of all this. You know, I got the comic book money in another account. I ain't touching that. But the longer the insurance takes to pay me my insurance claims, I'm like, dude, I want to go food shopping this week. What are my thoughts on the death of John Cassidy? Oh, it came out of left field, and then when you see the guy, and then when you see the guy, he's so young looking. You know, he's 50. He was 52 or 53, so he was 3 years younger than me. I look like an old man, and then you see John Cassidy. He looked like a kid. What a shame. What a shame. Was it a heart attack? I heard conflicting reports. I heard it was a brain thing. Then I heard it was a heart attack. You know, so I don't know. They have to witness you signing them. So unless they're in New York, it ain't gonna happen. Like, aren't the CGC people in Florida? I'm not flying down there. You know, so what? CGC signature series. So then I could sell them for $15 on eBay. You know, I'd have to sell. You know, take a $1,000 flight. So unless CGC comes to New York, and I could stand right there and do it, that ain't gonna happen. A signature series, but I'll mail a bunch of to Florida, get them CGC. That won't be available for a while, you know, and then put them on eBay, start an eBay store. I don't know. So, yeah, I love John Cassidy's artwork. It's such a shame, such a shame. I heard, like I said, I heard he had a brain problem, and then I heard it was a heart attack. So I don't know. Does anybody know? I'd love to get the correct information, but I don't know. So I just got messages. Who's messaging me? Oh. Anything else? Anybody want to come in? 57 people watching, and I got nothing else to say. I just wanted to kill some time and sort some comics. So anybody want to come in? Anybody? It seems like the comment stopped, so that usually means it's time to go. Anybody? Yeah, I gotta shave. This rubs against this and it drives me crazy. I'm gonna grow that beard back as soon as I don't have to wear this anymore. I think 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks. All right. Comment stopped. Nobody wants to come in. I think we'll stop here. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow, Friday, for It's Clobbering Time. It's Clobbering Time is Q versus the Beyonder. And then Sunday, I'll be doing the Marvel comic Star Wars #3 at Sunday Comics. I don't know about Saturday. Maybe I'll pop in. I'm actively looking to be on other people's channels so I could push the Indiegogo. 3 sales isn't really lighting the world on fire, but I'll see you. All right, I'm gonna go. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye bye.